That is a trick question, Grim. Everyone knows fruit bats are mammals.
And these are all improv, so work with me. But I've been thinking about them. Okay, so we are past. Can you guys hear this on Roll20?
Which one are we on? Are we on the beta or the original?
The original. I should probably delete the beta. We're gonna be on the original, I think, because Abbey can't run the new one yet. Maybe when we get a new laptop. The sounds and clanging of steel are echoing against two cliff sides. So there's a cliff on the right side, a cliff on the left side, really tall cliffs, forest on top. It is the hills of Vogler as horses are dashing through, breaking through, and draconians are flying out on the hills, attacking soldiers in blue and silver, as well as our friend Kujal, who heroically jumps in front of someone with her shield, blocks, slams into an opposing soldier with her hammer, knocking off their helmet and then finishing them off with a powerful strike onto their chest. She's moving and breaking through the battlefield, taking down draconians, kicking them away before they can explode onto her with their acid or with their, their paralyzing death reactions. And eventually trees start to break, trees start to fall down as a massive flame bursts from the woods in front of them, destroying soldiers, destroying Kujal's militia members. And you guys can hear Sir Becklin yell, up the hills, something's coming, this way, as the battalion that's with them starts shifting right up these hills, up this passageway, rocky like sides on each side. Draconians following Kujal and Becklin and a few other soldiers that are breaking through as the tank bursts through the woods. And the Draconians start to rev it up again, blasting again the area with intense flame. The Draconians and the Red Dragon army starts to crowd into this small area, this passageway that leads upwards toward the hills, as Kujal, Becklin, and their few remaining soldiers around them ready for an onslaught of dozens of soldiers heading their way. And then suddenly Kujal thinks, wait, this is a good time for this, I think. Thanks, Lyx! And she grabs her oil of slipperiness and slams it onto the ground in front of her. Massive black oil just spreading all over the ground in front of them as all these draconians, these soldiers start to slip. And then suddenly Becklin says, watch out, move! And she jumps in the air and does a massive divine smite onto the ground, unleashing this radiant energy that just blasts all these enemies that are on the ground now. And this keeps happening for 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, just them using this strategy as the soldiers run in, start slipping. Some of them are, notice what's happening and try to jump on their own bodies of their fallen comrades to make it up to them, but they fall to Kujal's hammer immediately the second they make it up. Bodies on bodies are stacking in that area as they're actually holding and fortifying this area, but the tank keeps moving toward the town past all of them. As time goes by and more battle occurs, there's shouting of tide users in Vogler. Tide users in Vogler affecting the tide of battle, pun intended, as well as the soldiers realizing that it's too dangerous to go up to that hill. And another ogre, not the one that you all saw, comes out and says, shit, Gorkag better be dead. If not, we're both toast. All right, both fresh consoldi. This is more than we thought. And he kind of looks up at Becklin and Kujal, who are holding firm at the top of this hill, and keeps walking toward Vogler, ignoring them. More time passes as Becklin and Kujal are trying to heal each other up, still have some injuries, still have some bleeding going, but they're hanging on. And then Kujal looks at Becklin and says, I told you, you're not gonna fall. Not before me. And she's like panting and breathing when suddenly they hear a massive dragon song as a giant thump lands on the rocky cliffs above them. And again, some of Kujal's soldiers drop their weapons immediately and try to run over the bodies frantically back into the battlefield as a voice comes out and says, ah, so you're the two causing all the trouble. Ignia, leave them to me. As Consaldi and her red gleaming eyes shine bright in the sun, and she propels herself upward with a flame blast, launching herself at Kujal answer. And that's the first vignette. So the next one is that was emotional. That was epic. Thanks for this, by the way, Abby. This is a great idea. Next one, there's a forested path, kind of boulders around, kind of like Lord of the Rings style boulders near a river kind of vibe. Big old forest up ahead as there's a family walking. It looks like a mother and her two children. They're in humble clothes, have a few bags on them, and one of the kids, a boy, looks up at the mother and says, are we almost to Calaman yet? I'm starting to get a little hungry, Mom. And the mother says, we'll be there soon. It's just beyond this forest. We'll make it out, but it is starting to get dark, so we might have to camp soon. And then the little girl's kind of like crying a little bit and saying like, I miss home. When all of a sudden, from the rocky cliffs, boulders around, bandits appear, robed, about a dozen or so. And then one of them kind of steps up on this rocky cliff, revealing himself to be some kind of elf with scars. He says, well, look what we have here. And he kind of brings out a dagger in front of him and looks at the family, all menacing. And immediately the children are terrified. They hug their mother, and the mother's like, please, we're just refugees. We don't have anything. Please let us go. I can give you the few copper that I have. But and he's like, oh, I'm sure you all have a little more in those bags. And then he jumps down from his boulder as the other bandits start to circle around them all. And, the children are terrified, shaking. The little boy kind of steps up and says, you'll have to get past me. And he has nothing. It's just his fist, and the mom's trying to like hold him back as she's trembling in fear, when suddenly out from another boulder a shadowy figure appears and says, Harper, Beargins and Foods! And he says, I will rule the valiant, and you will cease your robberies, fools. As this figure that looks like Michael B. Jordan appears. He now has green embroiderments across his simple leather armor. He still has his giant, goofy hiking bag. He looks like a silly hiker right now. And his gleaming green eyes are fiery and ready to roll as he's smiling confidently with his hands on his hips. And the thieves kind of look at themselves and start laughing at this guy who has no weapons, no nothing, and has this giant book back on. And he's like, yes, I should probably take this off. Give me a second. And he kind of like starts to like shuffle off his giant book bag. Head thief is like, this guy's a joke. Kill him now! And then Humuru says, wrong choice, as he disappears in a flash at breakneck speeds, going up to the leader, anime style, full punch straight to the gut, sending him flying at a boulder, immediately knocked out. And then Marvel anime cutscene action, just Humuru blocking, dodging, blocking, people coming at him with swords, and he blocks with his arms alone, not piercing anything. They're not piercing his skin, no blood is coming out. As he shoves them off, sweep kicks 3 of them and slams them all onto the ground until the rest of the battle folds out. He's just whooping ass. Very much anime style bullshit, sending them flying, grabs one guy by the legs, kind of spins him around like Mario and sends him flying until there is no more. And the family is just in shock as all these thieves are now on the ground scattered around. And the little boy goes, that was awesome, yeah! And the little girl's kind of like cheering up from her tears, a little confused as to what the hell's going on. The mom utterly shocked, and he's like, have no fear, Humuru the Valiant is here! And the mother's like, stranger, thank you so much. You've saved us all. I don't have much, but please take some of my coin. He's like, oh, no. Unless you have copper. I've not had copper in quite some time. And she's like, I do have some gold. No, the copper will do, please. And she's like, oh, okay. And he kind of like sniffs and he's like, thank you. I needed a snack after that. And he starts chewing down this copper coin as he looks at them all and says, I recommend you all find a settlement real soon. The Esterbrook village is really nice, but be safe out there. And then he looks at the little kid and he's like, and remember to always eat your breakfast. And then the little kid's like, yay, I love Humuru, he's awesome. And he's like, yes, I love me too. And he's kind of like patting him on the shoulders. And he just says, now stay safe out there. Oh, actually, and then he looks at them super seriously, like all of them, and says, do you all happen to know of a white dragon named Big Scallion? Or have you seen hundreds of metallic dragon eggs anywhere? And everyone's just like, no. And he's like, okay, I didn't think so, but I thought I'd try. All right, you all stay safe now. As he continues his journey to who knows where, he realizes he forgets his book bag, kind of 5 minutes walking out, and dashes back at breakneck speeds to grab his book bag as the family is in shock but also awe at being saved by this interesting man to them that happens to look like Michael B. Jordan. So that's Humuruth's. Alrighty, now we are at a thunderous place, a place of dark clouds, a place of darkness, lightning and thunder shaking above as these adventuring looking people, 3 people, climbing up these side cliff on these very dark mountains, this dark gravel, and one of them, a woman, says, I think we've gone too far. We should turn back. No treasure's worth this. This place is giving me the creeps. We have already survived too much. This is too scary. And the gentleman up front says, we're almost there, I promise. We're gonna get to Dargard Keep soon enough. That place has been abandoned for centuries. We're gonna be rich off our asses once we get there, I promise. And yeah, the other guy's like, don't worry, we'll take care of you. And they're, they have weapons. They look like adventurers. They're kind of shifting through. And then suddenly this black haze starts to form around all of them. And the vision is starting to become obscured. Woman again is starting to get scared as the kind of leader guy is also getting a little more nervous. And he's like, I think we can set camp up soon, but let's try and find somewhere a little clearer. I know it's just beyond this mountain. I've heard about this haze. Don't worry, this is normal. As suddenly he feels his body start to shake. What the hell's going on? And it's himself. And the woman's like, dear, are you okay? What's wrong? And he disappears. And he's like, shit! Get me out! What the hell is this? Oh, help! What the fuck are those ribs? As they look and see a being of about 40 feet tall, massive, rotting flesh falling down. And I'll actually show you all what it looks like real quick. As the terrifying creature, and the man inside its ribcage trapped, screaming, please, get me out! Oh, shit! It's something burning me! Help! And then suddenly, around this being, zombies start to lift up from around as dozens of zombies start to appear and go. Some are skeletons as well. And the woman and the other men are horrified. They're like, oh shit! And the other man grabs out a crossbow and shoots at this being, which it just hits the being, and the being doesn't react. It just stares and goes. And suddenly they hear the clinking of armor, and in the darkness 2 red lights appear about 7 or so feet above the ground, and the women and the men see someone in armor. And the other guy says, please, are you a knight? Sir Knight, please help us. Our friend is trapped by that monster. Help us, please! And the guy starts, acid's falling down on him. He's just screaming and writhing in pain as the being in armor keeps walking past the giant. The giant does nothing to the being in armor. The being in armor walks past these zombies, past these skeletons, nothing. Looks at them briefly, looks at the 2, the woman and the man, terrified and frightened, and now realizing that this knight is not trying to help them at all. The knight keeps walking past them and shoves past them like nothing as the zombies unload onto the woman and the man who are left. The other man trapped in the rib cage of this creature, screaming as he's getting devoured by the inside of this thing. As Lord Soth makes it to the precipice of the rocky mountainside, the Dargard Mountain, he looks up at the thundering above him, looks out and sees Castle Calaman way far in the distance, looming high. The Calaman forest moving gently in the breeze of the night as the thunder above him stops for a moment, stops for 10 seconds or so, and he kind of looks around at the thunder, a little confused as to why it's stopped, and then he pays it no attention as these echoes of screaming and people being eaten alive surround the Dargard Mountains and Lord Soth area. And that's it. That's our vignettes. So Colton, that's what we were voting for. So in the future, we might not do it every session, and it definitely won't be 3 people. I just wanted to start with 3. So just to add a little more flavor to our other characters, if there's big spoilers that might come of it, I'm mostly gonna dodge that, especially if it involves the fate of people. As you saw with Cujo, I didn't really reveal what exactly happened to them. I just kind of gave a little more flavor to what they encountered. So yeah, and then also I think we wouldn't pick the same person 2 consecutively, maybe in the future, but Yeah, hopefully that was cool, and I'm super down to keep doing those. But yeah, let's just get rolling. Last we played, you all fought giant tentacles in the Shadow Temple. You found two of the flames, the Flame of Unity and the Flame of Power. You found a good amount of treasure, and eventually you all made it down to the really awesome, black hole that led through the stars. You guys saw stars all around you, and then the whispers of the past started to appear around you all as you kept falling down. And yeah, I mean, just a few things from everyone's past kind of appeared. I would say that at some point, you know how I ended on the forest section for you all, like kind of when you all like first met. I would say that also goes through, you heard whispers of everything up to this point too. So you heard Ispin's laughter, the bah, you hear the I got a job for you if you want some coin. You hear all that. You hear the I should have killed you when I had the chance. Just all these big moments that have happened so far. Lord Sath. You hear I am Humrul the Valiant. You hear all these friends that you've made along the way, as well as enemies. You hear Lidara's song, her lament. You hear her saying that she's lost so much. She's already lost too many. You hear Willow, Venra. You all hear that again as you remember Gorgonis and the Battle of High Hill. You hear the Child of Darkness, Lyx. You hear that being talk to you again. Then you guys hear Darrett, especially you, Willow. You hear Ashley Highwater, Silas Highwater. Espen Greenshield, as you have that fateful moment, fateful encounter with Lord Soth. Melvin, you remember the Humrumus kind of looking at you and kind of having a little tear in his eyes saying, that song reminds me of my beautiful mama. And you, Colton, also remember all kinds of pranks from Sly, all these childhood memories of Sly and Smart. You all just kind of pranking each other, having fun, as well as, your parents slowly losing their memory and recollection. So kind of hearing those whispers related to that. And finally, you all hear Sir Becklin telling you all that you all are our futures. As long as you all survive, Bogler lives on. And then you hear that final attack on Bogler, as well as the Draconians chanting Consaldi's name, ending on probably Theriata saying, Bronze Bombers, you're gonna love this deal. We're gonna be great friends. That's probably the most up-to-date thing that you all hear as you appear in the night sky, stars around you still, but now suddenly Calaman's forest appears, the Crescent Moon Lake is all around you, and you all go diving down into this hole at the top of the temple entrance, blasting in, but something kind of lightly slows down the impact right when you're about to slap into the pool as you all smash in, water going everywhere. You're all soaked now in the temple entrance of New Atari. And this is where we are. And you all just experienced all of that, all your whispers and everything. And it was quite individual, right? Because you all fell at different times, actually. So very individual. None of you saw one another.
I was just wondering if we look up, does it look any different than it did before? Because we've been in this room before.
Yeah, it's still Solinari, the white moon, shining bright on the whole of the observatory. Your two flames that you have are kind of dancing around. The Unity flame keeps avoiding the power flame as the power flame kind of, shakes tensely every now and then.
If I remember right, it was Willow, me,
Yeah,
Lyx, and then Melvin.
I believe so. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Willow was hanging onto the immovable rod, kind of testing out what was going on as like gravity started pulling you down. But yeah, you guys are in the main entrance. The large platform lays above you all. Solinari, the moon is above. You got two flames, and you're all taking a swim in this pool.
Melvin's going to go ahead and swim to the nearest edge and sort of try to pull himself up.
Okay, you do that. And as you do that, you are suddenly realize that you are all surrounded by dozens of women in black robes circling around the entire area. Only you would have noticed this so far, Melvin, because you're out of the pool. But I imagine it's a shock to Melvin.
So gasping, Melvin sort of pulls himself up. He sees and registers the robed women and sort of reaches for his sword belt and sort of pulls them out and sort of with a shaking hand sort of extends it. Are you the ones who called us?
You can see many of them kind of like smiling. You can see some of their smiles underneath their hoods, even though you can't really see their faces. Their chins and their smiles are kind of still there. See all kinds of different people. And one of them kind of speaks up, kind of in this powerful voice and says, "The child of darkness, where is she?"
Melvin sort of stays silent, but maybe makes a brief glance behind him to kind of see where his companions are, but definitely does not answer her.
They all kind of inch forward in unison, closer.
Melvin sort of takes a step back. Maybe he's kind of close to the edge of the pool. He feels like he might fall back in, but kind of short sword shaking, or long sword
Can
rather.
you do a wisdom saving throw, Melvin?
Sure thing.
I think Sneak would be probably popping up about this time, seeing kind of everything that's going on.
All right, Melvin. Okay,
Right.
Sneak, you do that. Yeah, Sneak, you do that, and you immediately see all these women too. You see what Melvin has seen, and then suddenly, Melvin, you fall to the ground before you can make it to the pool, and you start laughing hysterically, and you can't stop laughing. You're just laughing and laughing and laughing. You're laughing, even though maybe on the inside you might be scared. So I don't know if Melvin's like crying and freaking out, but you are laughing and laughing and laughing, and you can't stop yourself from laughing as you've been hit by Tasha's hideous laughter, the spell, and you are essentially incapacitated for the time being. You guys, everyone hears Melvin laughing like crazy.
Yeah.
Sneak, you see all these black-robed women, and now you see Melvin laughing on the ground, just can't stop laughing.
What is going on?
I can't stop laughing. Oh my God, what is going on?
As
What
they look
makes
at
people-
you,
Oh,
they look at you, Sneak, and say, "The child of darkness, where is she?"
It's me, baby. 666 Helsing.
All right, do a wisdom saving throw. As you kind of hear a whisper and then say, "They know of Satan." And they kind of like look back at you. Oh, nice. You feel like this urge to laugh hysterically, Sneak, and then you fight it back somehow. It disappears you, but you're like, huh. Maybe you thought, yeah, it's just like normal Sneak stuff. You're like, I almost laughed at my own joke, but it didn't quite come out. As they all inch forward again, even closer. Now they're about 10 feet from Sneak and Melvin in this giant circle.
Hearing Melvin laugh hysterically, Lyx starts peering, pulling their gaze from the moon, trying to see what's so funny.
And you see them all.
Yeah, I think my
As
breath catches.
they all look at you, they all turn to look right at you, Lyx.
My breath catches, and I feel a little bit fearful.
As one of the women steps forward, and she's kind of has this weird like veil over her face. You can kind of see her skin and some features behind, but it's very netted and difficult to see. And she looks at you and says, "Child of darkness, you've made it this far. You've also shown the most truth and honesty out of all the people in this room. As such," and they all like reach their hand out. They all spread their hand out, and this energy starts pulsing above the pool as they start creating what looks to be a flame. It's a dark flame, and it immediately launches itself at you, Lyx, and stops in front of your face. And you see a reflection of yourself in that flame. And then suddenly you hear a massive dragon's roar come out as if it's about to attack you, but then it stops, and the flame kind of just like starts to dance around you. It's dancing and dancing. It's kind of like investigating you. It's going like all over your body, like looking around your legs and such.
Is it a familiar roar?
Yes, it's unmistakably the roar of Crake Anthrax. And you actually for a moment think you see these green eyes and this giant mouth just trying to come at you in this small orb-like flame. The woman who stepped up says, "You all need but one more flame. I advise activating the observatory in this room after finding the flame and Isabella, if she's still alive."
Isabella?
Yes, but maybe you all are strong enough for the trials ahead. Without her, maybe our order shall lay in ruin forevermore.
Are you alive?
As you say that, she smiles and starts to fade into light, just light, and they all start to disappear. And you hear a little bit of laughter. As the spell ends immediately on Melvin at the same time that they start laughing, Melvin, you stop laughing and you're back. You're prone, but you're not in combat, so you can easily get back up. They're all gone. So the last thing they said is, "You have one more flame. You now have the flame of truth, and to activate the observatory in this room," this is where the observatory is, even though you're not really sure what that means, they recommend finding Isabella, but they also said it's your choice. That maybe you're all strong enough for the trials ahead without her, and maybe their order should stay in ruin.
So-
Oh,
And
okay. I was just gonna
all
say.
heard this. You all heard this. You all saw them and heard them. And yeah, I like what you're saying, Willow. You're kind of, I mean, yeah, you guys had an intense, moment just before, session before, and then you just hear Melvin going bananas.
I'll get out of the pool, shake myself off, and kind of observe the flame that I now have kind of following me, and looking to verify that all my friends are okay.
Melvin kind of splutters. He's completely out of breath. This has been like one of those piss your pants kind of laughters. He actually kind of takes a second to really sort of catch his breath. He maybe even coughs a little bit. He kind of looks towards Willow and starts to kind of move his way to his hands and knees and sort of wiping his face. He sort of picks up the sword that clattered uselessly to the side during the witch's attack, and he sort of scrambles to his feet and probably goes to Willow and throws his little self around her for a hug.
I think given the weird shit that just happened, she's gonna stiffen up a bit and then like awkwardly try to show support. And she's also gonna turn the group and be like, I don't know if I love or hate this place. It's fucking weird.
We have 2 flames,
3. You just got one more.
3 flames. We're almost out of this motherfucker. We can hate it all we want, but we gotta get out of it.
I'm also going to like slowly go towards Lyx because I know that the flame I have is hostile to poor Melvin's, and see how it interacts with the honesty one.
Yeah, the truth one actually starts to play around the power one as the power one starts to kind of spread, try to get bigger and bigger, and the truth one keeps kind of like playing with it and like keeps dodging it. This one's very fairy like. The unity one's been kind of like calm and like, you know, almost hypnotic with its orbits around Melvin and everyone else, and definitely avoiding the power one. But this one doesn't seem scared of the power flame.
Oh, they're friends.
Yeah. Lyx reaches out for a little fist bump with Willow.
Have to go down.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, yeah. I thought Isabella was dead like 100 years ago, right? When was her diary from?
I do have her diary. It is in the Book of Holding. I could pull it out. I'm gonna pull out the Book of Holding if I could, please.
Boom, there's her diary.
I'm sorry. I would like to pull out the Isabella's diary out of the book.
Yeah. I put it up. Yep, I put it up. So yeah, it looks like diary entries from over 150 years ago. And as you all can see, just kind of quickly skimming it, you see that she was a bard for the Temple of Nuatari here in Calaman. She created many songs for Nuatari and her sisters of the Black Robes. And then her final entries, it looks like, that are dated 150 years ago. She was very excited and nervous to perform for a large celebration that was coming up, where high-ranked members of the red and white robes would come to the temple and honor a truce and union of the lunar schools. And that was her last entry. So she's a bard similar to our friend Melvin, or she is unclear.
Is it possible that we could pause for just a second? We're
Yeah.
something in this house, sorry.
Do we need to take a 10-minute break or?
We just got a table delivered.
Okay. This looks hilarious.
A 5-minute recess would be really helpful.
Yeah, we
Perfect.
can do that. Let's do it.
We're so sorry. Thank you.
Very good. We'll be back at the 50 mark. All right, you mates. Table all set up. But yeah.
Yes.
So you got Sneak whips out the diary. Is it still being shared? No, I guess I stopped the screen share.
Also, speaking of sharing stuff, would somebody else mind sharing their roll 20? I broke my hand, and it is not. Yeah, it's not easy to like go back and click on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, gang.
Abbey, are you able to?
Yeah, I can share.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
Just a
Sorry.
heads up, you're much quieter than everybody else. I don't know if that's just a me thing.
I didn't connect my mic. It was dangling on the floor, so thank you. All right, is that better? Must be better. Hello. Sort of?
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, perfect.
Way better.
Okay, epic. Let me share that diary real quick. I don't know if you guys heard me. Yeah. Boom. So this is Isabella's diary. You guys kind of skim it together. She was a bard for the Temple of Nuatari, this temple right here in Calaman. She created many songs for Nuatari and her sisters of the Black Robes. She was excited. This is one of her last entries, that she was very excited and nervous to perform for a large celebration that was coming up. This was going to be a celebration where high-ranked members of the red and white robes would come to the temple and honor a truce and union of the lunar schools. That was her last entry. And this was over 150 years ago.
Can I see if she has any songs? Can I read any of her songs or lyrics from her?
Yep, you do find a song actually. Oh, whoops, sorry. Yeah, and it's called Eyes Like Nightshade. And it almost sounds like a romantic song, but it's, in the vein of like a Christian anthem or something, a Christian rock anthem. It's clearly for Nuatari. But yeah, you see lyrics like, as equals we meet, time collapses, silently you turn me, an outline, a silhouette, eyes like nightshade, eyes like, and it kind of repeats into this like romantic but dark and weird worshipy kind of lyric. Cleanse me, teach me with your gentle resilience as time slows. Stay close to me. I am flying in my sleep. So very obscure but loving. I am flying in my sleep. Eyes like nightshade. Eyes like nightshade.
Could Sneak do some sort of investigative check to see specific words that may stand out, or I don't know, some sort of investigation to look for some sort of clues?
Yeah, do that. Go ahead and roll for that.
Can Melvin help?
I'll say that you were probably like analyzing the music. So
Okay.
maybe not quite. Maybe if more time passes, you can jump in. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, Sneak, you kind of make the connection that she keeps talking about practicing in the library, in the grand library. There's some kind of rooms in the grand library of the Temple of Nuatari. So that's the big thing that sticks out to you, that she was always in the grand library. And with the 20, you make the connection that at least the top of the grand library, or some piece of it, was in that room where you fought the giant tentacled being. So nice check, Sneak. Good idea.
Okay.
I'm guessing you share that with the team. And maybe Melvin, you also share the song.
Maybe we should go back to the place with the tentacles and see if we can find the library and maybe her body or resting place.
I agree.
Didn't we already though? That's where we found all of the money and my flame and everything.
Yo, we got a couple potions of water breathing. Maybe me and Lyx go down to the bottom, see if we can dig anything up.
I don't know if I want to see what's attached to the rest of those tentacles, but I don't know. Maybe we could at least head in that direction and get a better sense of what part of the library that space is. And then if we feel like we want to go, explore into the water or go back that way, we could.
As above, so below.
Alrighty, I'll send you all there.
We could also mess with the lights again, because I don't think we did that before we left.
Can you guys see the room again? The library room? Shoot, okay. Roll20 made like a new thing. I put the thing there. That's okay. I'll drag you off for now like I've been doing.
I can see the tentacles.
Oh, really?
I do see the room also variably, but I can't move a lot. Sorry.
Are you guys in there? I can spawn you real quick. I'll just spawn because these should be your latest tokens. Yeah, and Sneak, I can help you move. Oh, shit, okay. Well,
I see it now.
Willow, clone, you die to tentacle that comes back alive. But yeah, okay, so I'm guessing you guys want to investigate. Are you guys going to go back up to the top? Are you looking in the water? What are you guys investigating?
What if there is something in the water? What if there's like another door down there in the water?
You want to put your head in or something?
I don't know. I don't want to touch it again if it's going to bring some fucking goddamn motherfucker. We're avoiding. All right, we're avoiding putting my head in the water, I think, is the consensus.
Can we see, are there any doors at the other spot of the library?
Do an investigation check. Everyone, I guess. You guys are kind of looking for the library, it sounds like, but you're kind of seeing more what's going on. Oh, wow. Investigative monster. Oh, Willow as well. The tentacles are obviously not there. Guys, they're dead. Those tentacles.
The monster, investigative monster.
All right, so Willow and Sneak, you all notice among the cliffs, now that the tentacles are gone, you see shelves of books kind of trapped behind the rocks, and they keep heading down and down into the water, these shelves of books. You notice there's actually some books floating among the water. So you two make the connection that right now, you are at the very top maybe of this grand library, and the grand library is below.
Okay. Fuck.
So this coastal rock has formed around this area and covered some portions of the bookshelves and such, but it leads way down. There's more floors going downward, but it's all flooded.
Let's do the water breathing. Let's go check it out, Lyx.
Okay. Lyx is very nervous, but willing to dive in.
Alrighty. So you guys are gonna drink the potions? I think they last an hour.
Yeah, I know. Last game, I had gotten those two. She took one, and it was in the bag of holding. But after the game, I inevitably put it in my own satchel because I wanted it.
Yeah.
So I would maybe we need to go down below to check it out.
Perfect. So
If we split, is it 30 minutes?
No, sorry.
Okay.
No. Yeah. Good idea though. No, I think normally in D&D the potions, the powerful magic potions, you drink the whole thing, and then that's how you get the full effect of it.
Do you, Melvin, would you prefer you and Lyx over me?
Melvin thinks about it, is a little scared, but sometimes the weird singing thing tends to happen. The tide acts really weird here. Lyx?
Melvin, I think maybe if she's a bard too, maybe she would feel more safe talking with you. So let's face our fears.
I will give my water breathing potion to Melvin.
Sneak, we'll get
Alrighty.
you some good to make up for this lost potion.
That's all I ask, baby.
All right, so Melvin and Lyx, you're gonna jump in, drink the potions, and go in.
Yes,
Alrighty.
I'll be drinking this cloudy green fluid.
Perfect. Okay. So you all drink your potions. They taste somewhat pleasant, oddly enough, very aqueous. You dive in as you can suddenly breathe. You can breathe underwater and you don't feel any of the water rush in or anything. You're being protected by this magical potion. You all start to swim further down into the dark, murky water. River fish surround you as you swim deeper and deeper, eventually coming to a massive library, and I will spawn you all there.
Although originally scared, Lyx is actually really enjoying this.
Yeah, I haven't, so technically Willow and Sneak, you're not there, but I'll put you there just so you see it. Do you guys see the image on Roll20 has changed? Yeah, so you all see this large library, this bottom of this library with fish swimming everywhere, books floating around. And it's actually, yeah, as Lyx was saying, it's actually kind of a serene experience. You kind of see the different levels of this library, but you do eventually notice bodies floating, skeletal bodies of robed, different black, white, and red robed individuals, old skeletons floating in the water. But mostly it's books and fish at this point.
Can I check their bodies to see if they look like Isabella or like look like anything that would be a feature
Sure.
that would identify them?
Yeah, do an investigation check.
Meanwhile, while Lyx is doing an investigation check, can I try to open my mouth? What does it sound like when I talk?
Just, it's not very clear. Just the
Okay.
bubbles.
I got a 12 again.
You find, yeah, you don't find the clues that you're looking for, but you do find 10 gold among the robes.
Okay, guess I'll take it.
Melvin, did you also investigate?
No,
Or-
but
oh, that was
Melvin's
older.
gonna say we should look quickly and is going to try and
You like mouth those words, I'm guessing.
yeah, kind of making a sweeping gesture
Mhm.
to me to the right, you to the left. So
So-
we're swimming to do that.
Sure. And you all, yeah, kind of dodging those weird bodies floating around in this murkiness. Yeah, and sorry, did someone do something? Yeah, Melvin, you actually find 15 gold robed individuals when you do that.
I was actually looking in the stacks.
Okay, in the stacks of books?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the books look illegible as the water has totally destroyed the pages of them. All these books seemingly lost forever to time and water. But Melvin, with that investigation check and kind of swimming around, you do notice like what was a hallway or something behind you all, totally covered in rocks and coastal rocks and boulders and such. However, you do find where I'm signaling now in Roll20, what looks to be some kind of passageway in to some dark area. But otherwise, it looks like this was a hallway that opened up into the library, and one of the entrances is totally blocked by the boulders. The other one is wide open. Yeah, you can't find any good books in any, or definitely no books in good condition.
I guess kind of symbol kind of blowing bubbles to sort of get Lyx's attention. Gonna swim through ghost cave spelunking, I guess.
All right.
Okay, so we're gonna go through that archway. So before that, I'm gonna 30 feet above me do a cast tape water and do. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a 5-foot cube of ice or a color cube. I think I'm gonna do a color cube of green and hope that the color kind of goes up, almost like a message to our friends that like green is good, but we're down here.
So Willow and Sneak, all of a sudden you see this weird cube of green ice or something appear, and it's up to your characters to decipher what that means.
I was gonna say we hadn't discussed that before they went down, did we?
No.
Okay. Well, that's weird, but everything been weird, so I'm just going with it. Doesn't look like they're dead, so I can't go down there.
Actually, Sneak and Willow, is there anything you guys want to do in that room before? Or are you guys doing anything? You see this green ice cube before we move on to Lyx and Melvin, who are now swimming through this dark passageway.
I definitely want to help if I can.
Are you gonna try to follow them?
Willow personally thinks that the best way to help is to not touch anything because that's how things get activated in here. Because I really want to mess with the light thing again, but I want to wait until they're back. But that's just me.
I definitely don't want to touch anything because of what she just said. That's facts. But I do like if something's coming to the top, I want to grab it.
Okay. Are you gonna swim to grab the green ice cube?
I am.
Okay, you do that.
What do I need to roll?
Nothing. You just go out, swim, you grab the Lyx's green ice cube, but I don't know if your characters would know if this is Lyx's.
I don't know, but I see something grab up. I think Sneak is obscenely gonna grab it and just pull it up. I think the waters are probably cold enough if ice was able to develop that he could probably just keep it in the water and just like keep it solemnly in the water so it can maintain its ice form. He don't know what's going on. He's just grabbing it and holding it here. He knows where it's at.
I was
Done.
just gonna say, I did use the shape water with the ice against the tentacle person. I don't know if everyone noticed that, but
Yeah, I think Willow definitely would have. Sneak was climbing on a wall.
The giant ice wall.
Yeah, so Willow, you're aware that Lyx has that power.
Could I roll an intelligence to see if I think it, like, I can figure out what it is?
Sure, go ahead.
Because I don't know that she would immediately make that.
All right, and as Willow is doing that, Lyx and Melvin, you're swimming through this dark passageway, kind of some books floating around as well. And suddenly the walls become more rocky, kind of like the walls of a coast again. And you start to hear kind of this beat. You hear like a you hear this like sound. It sounds rhythmic, and Willow doesn't connect shit. So our friends are swimming around with, or at least Sneak is swimming around with an ice cube, and Willow's just like, I have no idea what the hell's going on. But Lyx and Melvin, because you all hear, what is it? I can't share my computer sound. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. This will be kind of quick. Oh shit, that's probably really loud. Here, I turned it down. Can you guys hear that? Or it's probably too quiet now? Kind of this weird, uncanny song. Shit, there we go. As you start to hear this singing, this kind of raspy singing, and it's singing the lyrics that you just read, Melvin. But it's coming from way above, way above, way above. So now you guys are kind of in like a cylindrical coastal room. You can kind of see a light above, and you hear it. And as you swim further and further up, it gets louder and louder, this music. You keep hearing the silently he turns me, all these weird lyrics. You guys keep going all the way to the top?
I think I make eyes to Melvin and I'm like, I'm willing to keep exploring.
So as Melvin sort of reaches the top, there's a sort of, what would Melodia do? Okay, be brave, be brave. So he's kind of floating up to the top, kind of slows and sort of raises up and maybe tries to harmonize a little bit, is humming, is doing some small melodic additions to the music.
And as you rise to the top and do that, do the humming, follow the music, embrace the music, you rise up to what looks like a damp cave, water dripping from stalagmites above, beautiful rocks and minerals adorning the closed cave environment, and a radiant light starts to emanate, this purple light from this large floating crystal just levitating in the center of the cave as the music's getting louder, and this crystal's kind of like shining to the rhythm of the song, to the especially the bass, just shining as there's like a silhouette kind of floating in this giant crystal that you can't make out their form. This crystal is huge, larger than a humanoid, and it's big enough to encompass this person inside of it. And around this crystal are 7 black-robed witches, kind of having their arms extended out at this crystal, aimed at the beautiful purple thing. So Melvin, I don't know, you were singing, and then I don't know if like suddenly you get shocked again by seeing again these black-robed witches suddenly appearing, coming to life. The singing continues and beats out of this crystal, pulsing to the lights, pulsing to the beat of the music.
I guess I would join the circle.
Oh,
Like kind
so
of join the circle and keep singing, like kind of maybe but swim to the edge.
And like one of the witches like looks at you, kind of like shaking, slowly shaking as you see them, and like you see cracks in their skin, and it's like almost like rocks. Their face starts to drop a little bit of pebbles and rock, and they say like, beautiful, as they're kind of like falling apart like sand. And Lyx, are you out? You made it to the top?
Yeah, I made it to the top. I think a few paces behind Melvin. So I see him in this circle and I'll just kind of walk up and join and notice
And immediately they all
kind of
look
how
at you.
ugly.
Yeah, they all look at you. One of them's jaw like starts to come unhinged, but it looks like it's in a smile as their face starts to turn to sand, slowly breaking apart. And one of them says, Child of darkness, a friend, you have found us. And they're kind of falling apart. And it looks like it was the same a woman from before with the veil, except she's falling apart like pieces of sand as the beat continues, but the singing kind of pauses in this kind of horrific scene now. And she tells you, we do not have the power to explain further. It took all our might to protect her. And she's falling apart. And bring you here. Sand keeps falling from her face. Will you free Isabella, our story bearer?
Yes.
Probably.
You're not there, Sneak. But maybe you guys hear like Sneak's guidance
Mentally.
in the back. Yeah, mentally. Sneak's voice kind of comes in the back of your heads. Then she smiles and says, and a lot of them kind of like sigh like a little bit, and like, you know, more chunks of their faces of sand falling apart as some of their hands are also starting to weaken. And then she says, then end the ritual. Over 100 years. Strike us all down and help our story live on. And the singing continues as they all kind of bow their heads to you.
Strike you down?
Yes. All of us.
Lyx looks to Melvin.
And you keep seeing them like slowly kind of relax and give in a little bit as pieces of them are falling apart like sand.
Melvin pulls out his dagger. I
We're
guess.
doing this? We're doing tide assisted suicide situation?
And the mother says, we are far from who we were. We should be long gone, child of darkness.
Melvin slips his blade into the first one.
And immediately she bursts into sand and falls apart, and kind of you see a smile as she's falling apart. There's still 6 more of them.
Okay. Lyx holds one of their hands, looks into their eyes, and delivers the shocking grass cantrip.
And yeah, she kind of like explodes in the back, but like peacefully, a peaceful, scary, you know, jagged smile as she falls apart and the sand blows away from your energy.
Maybe Sacred Flame cantrip to the next one, but like kind of like a gentle heat.
Yeah, just the smallest amount of energy was enough to kind of collapse her into the flame, and she kind of like crumbles down into it and falls apart. And then you guys keep finishing. Do you end on the mother? Before you
Sure.
even strike her, she kind of just looks at you and says, thank you. And she just gives up and totally sinks down as their dark energy starts to fill the room. And you all have your spell slots back as their essence
Oh!
flies over both of you. You get maximum spell slots back, getting the essence of the Black Witches, their last resort. And then suddenly, the crystal starts to shake, and it falls down to the ground, collapsing, shards breaking everywhere. It looks like obsidian pieces coming out and a shining, beautiful gem. As a woman with a beautiful sword, she was hugging this sword, falls to the ground. She's got these weird black robes and beautiful black kind of wings on her robes. And she looks like this. As you all have found Isabella Dreeker fallen to the ground, quite beautiful, maybe in her 30s, late 30s, near 40s, and she's basically unconscious, slowly coming to, and says, what's going on? What's going on? Where am I?
Be still here among friends. We freed your friends. They've kept you in this stasis, it seems like.
Stasis, why? Was my performance good?
It was beautiful.
Oh, what is this? And then she's holding the sword. She's like, where have I been? She says, are any of you warriors? Wait, who am I? What's my name?
Melvin sort of walks closer and sort of kneels down and sort of grasps her hand and motions for Lyx to come closer.
Lyx will come and maybe take the other hand. Is your name Isabella?
And then she kind of like a kind of a shocking motion gonna jolts into her head, and she's like, yes, I'm Isabella Dreeker. Yes, how'd you know my name? Are we friends?
No, we found your diary. Sorry for looking into it. Your last entry was from 150 years ago.
What? Can I see it? And Sneak has the diary still. You guys wouldn't have taken it
Yeah.
underwater.
Unfortunately, we didn't swim down here with it. We had to swim to get to you. And so if you want to join us, we would be happy to give it back to you to look at.
She's like, oh, okay, that's okay. And she kind of like grabs a bag and there's potions of water breathing and she drinks one of them right away and gives the other two to you. But you guys still have the effect of the potion of water breathing, so you're okay. But now you have 2 more potions of water breathing.
Better keep those motherfuckers.
She's like, we can go swim. I'm sorry. I don't really know what's happened, and I'm not a warrior either, I'm pretty sure. And then she kind of like grabs the sword and points it to her ear, and she hears her song emanating through the sword. Ah, and then she turns to you, Melvin. This is a song for a warrior bard. The sword is telling me that. And then she hands over the sword of tuning to you, Melvin. As you now have, I don't have the image of it, unfortunately. Maybe you can text it to the group, Melvin, when you get the chance. But basically, you have that sword of tuning. As Isabella says, I think in this crystal, in this singing all these years, the sword's telling me I helped create it. So the sword was created through her singing and the magic of the black robe witches throughout all these years. A weapon a weapon for a hero who is going to come to help them out. Isabella says, well, we have to find out what's going on, right? Feel free to grab everything that's here. I have a few things that might be useful. And she actually gives over 3 common potions of healing. So you get those. You have the sword. You have the 2 potions of water breathing. And then I'll just tell you guys, you should probably grab the obsidian, and there's a black opal that actually formed out of this giant crystal. So there's 10 pieces of obsidian, black obsidian, and 1 shining, powerful looking black opal. And she says, consider that your reward. Black opal is most valuable. It's a most valuable gem. As she kind of like touches it and is getting these memories kind of coming back to her slowly. And obsidian's worth something too. Well, tally ho then, shall we? And she kind of like covers her nose and like jumps into the water, her little weird robe wings following suit as she starts swimming down, not knowing what the fuck is really going on. All right. So what are you all up to now?
Right before we follow into the water, I think I'll take like a close look at the tuning sword that Melvin just got, and like, oh my gosh, that seems really cool, Melvin.
Melvin holds the sword like kind of close to his ear, and he can hear music. So
You hear
the
that
tuning-
pulsing beat again.
Yeah. So this weapon counts. Oh, does Melvin know its full potential somehow?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, why not?
Okay. So I think
Oh,
this,
here I have it. You can go ahead, go.
it feels like an instrument. Its pitch is perfect as far as I can tell.
So I texted what it looks like. So it's a +1 weapon. It does force damage. So basically it almost sings out an attack when you slice with it. Yep, and what were you saying? It's pitch perfect? Oh. So you don't have to have your instrument out anymore to cast some of your spells with this. Yeah, cool. So it's a +1 bonus for attack and spell attack, Melvin, basically. Oh, yeah, and it has a little buff to Bardic Inspiration. So yeah, this awesome, and I want to say it's like its energy is kind of pulsing with that purple black energy that you've seen in this temple. And yeah, it's almost like a living, there's like a living energy to this sword. The energy of a bard who's sung into it for over 100 years.
Wow.
Okay.
Is there anything left of the mother?
Just robes. It looks like their robes are there. They're kind of like Obi-Wan Kenobi style. All their robes are kind of scattered around.
Can I take those robes?
Can Lyx grab 4 of the robes and put them in her backpack?
Definitely.
I was gonna say, can we grab them and put them in the bag of holding?
Yeah.
I'll grab them and bring them up to you.
Cool. So, yep, for the sake of time, you guys all meet back up together with this stranger, Isabella. Willow and Sneak, you see this woman with black hair, all, mid-30s, fair skinned with weird black wing robes, and she kind of appears.
First off, I think I'm gonna say to Willow, yo, dude, what the fuck is going on? I just do not get it. There's a lot of shit happening. No, I'm gonna say, hey, old lady, what you got going on? I would like to know what's going on with that old lady.
She goes swimming. She's like, you must be Lyx's and Melvin's friends. Do you have my diary by any chance? And she's suddenly like swimming at you as she's talking. And then maybe Melvin and Lyx slowly appear right behind as well.
Are you Isabel?
Isabella, yes. But pleasure to meet you, Sir.
Sneaky boy.
Sir Sneaky Boy, a pleasure to meet you. And she kind of like gets up, and she's, much taller than you, Akender, but she's there.
Well, likewise, greet her very nicely.
Yeah, and she does like a little curtsy with her weird wings. And yeah, she's here. And I do have a token for her, but I'll pull her out when needed. But she
Okay,
is in the room.
so I did find your diary. Is this something that you may want? How did you even get here? Did my friends find you?
Yes, they released me from some kind of spell. I'm still unsure of it myself. I didn't really see what happened, but I'd be most grateful to read my diary just to I kind of can't remember much about what happened.
I don't really want to give you this diary unless you're fucking about to tell me something that's worth it.
Can I insight check? See if she
Sure.
actually can remember.
Sure. I beg to pardon, Sir Sneak. I don't know what you mean by that.
Give me money or this shit is mine.
Oh, okay, I guess.
Yeah,
And she kind of
yeah. Or information. You got good information? I'll trade it. This is mine now.
with the 13, she looks lost. She seems like a very lost person. And so she has no money. She's like, oh, I guess I'm all out. I'm sorry. I would go to my room and find more if I knew where that was.
What information do you have maybe that I can take from you?
Well,
I'm not about to give your diary back for free. That's for sure. Sorry.
well, it is my diary, but
I don't give a shit.
I let them take the obsidian and the opal, and you hear opal, Sneak, and you know that's a very pricey gem. Your friends have valuable gems that I let them take, and your friend over there has a powerful sword.
Wow, that's super cool, but that's between you
It'd be
and
nice
them.
if they vouched for me instead of, waddled around in the pool, but I guess
I was gonna ask, are we out of the water?
I
No,
don't know.
Melvin-
I don't control your characters.
Getting up out of the water, assessing situation. Sneak. I did kind of tell her that she could look at her diary, and I toss a water breathing potion back at you here. And there's more.
Alright.
There's more.
I think that is due deficient dues. My apologies. I did not know that you had already discussed with my associate. I will go ahead and continue on with this partner. Go ahead. Yeah. My apologies.
I totally understand, Sir Sneaky Boy. I am as lost as you are, it appears. I am not too sure what's going on, which is why I think my diary would be helpful.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm very dumb. So go ahead.
Well, at least you know who you are, I think. So you hand over the diary?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she spends a little bit of time kind of perusing through it, and like you can kind of see her mind like being boggled, and as memories seem to kind of come back to her, and she's starting to remember more. She's like, what happened in the ceremony? Wait, what's the day? What's today? What's today's date? Where is everyone? Where are the red and white robes, Sir Luthen and Sir Lenara?
Melvin sort of picking himself out of the pool and getting back onto shore, sort of rebelting the tuning sword, sort of begins to explain that it's 150 years later. The temple seems out of balance, and though the tide has largely disappeared from this world, there are those among us who are sensitive to the tide, and that we were summoned here through a vision, a whispering in our heads, and that we pretty much, I guess, Melvin's going to be pretty honest with her and tell her most of what has happened, if not all of it.
Okay. And she says, so I'm 150 years older than I was, if all this is to be true.
You don't look a day over 30.
Sister Errol, where is she? And she kind of like starts storming away to the left as suddenly she screams in the other room, in the Unity Pond room.
I'll run after.
A skeleton comes out, suddenly awakened in red robes, and comes out at her and goes, and tries to attack her as
How
she
far away?
freaks out. I mean, right at the entryway of that room.
Okay, so we're all on land.
Yeah.
I'll probably follow suit. I'll probably follow Lyx if I somewhere.
I'll pull out my coconut and throw it at the skeleton.
Okay, roll to hit and do it at advantage because it doesn't know you're there.
19.
That hits, and that's actually enough to like replace its head with the coconut. Like the head just kind of falls off, the coconut goes, and the body like falls on Isabella, and like it's kind of grabbing her still as it like falls down apart and kind of looks limp again. But suddenly it seems like the temple is coming alive yet again with some new horrors, as you all kind of hear kind of groans coming from the hallways, spiraling downward from the library room. So remember that.
get together.
So you guys heading to Unity? Okay. So you guys are in Unity now.
I guess maybe I quickly whispered to Isabella, like, where's the fourth flame?
Yes. What happened here? Yes, it's just over there. It's in the room, in the wave room. As the bats start to freak out and they start flying around, the dead skeleton that Lyx got is right over here. And you all notice there's more skeletons kind of walking around here in the back of the room. They seem harmless enough, just kind of staring at the walls, doing nothing. One's in black robes, the other's in white robes. As Isabella says, straight ahead this way, in this other passageway, the other area you all haven't gone yet, it should be where the flame is. And the bats are just chippering and chittering and going crazy.
If my axe isn't activated, I'm gonna go ahead and activate it. Just have that
Perfect.
ready and be towards the front if everyone else is okay with it, because we don't know what's gonna be in that room.
Yeah, Isabella also kind of hides behind you and starts like humming like a peaceful melody to herself as she sees you ready to roll. The skeletons have not noticed you all yet. So sorry, what are you all doing now? Are you guys going to the next room? Okay, let's do that then. I'll move you all real quick. Kind of staying quiet. Actually, all of you do stealth check. This will be a group stealth check, okay? Okay, I'll say that the group stealth check is good enough. Working together, the more stealthy among you kind of keep things good, and the skeletons do not notice as you all enter this new room with waves everywhere, waves floating around a strange boat here in the center, and then another cliffside that may or may not be visible from you all. But this room is very odd as you hear the sound of wind everywhere. Wind is kind of gusting around, pushing the waves different directions, and the wind keeps changing into different directions. You all do notice what looks like a skeleton just kind of limp on this rowboat, head down. It looks like a red-robed skeleton as you all enter with Isabella. There's bats flying all above you. Oh, whoops, I accidentally grabbed the skeleton from the other room. But yeah, you guys are all in this room now, including Isabella.
What is this place, Isabella?
I can't quite remember, but I know that's our founder. That's a statue of her. And there's a statue of what looks like a gnome or Kender woman holding a sword. I think she has the flame, you see.
Can I go up and try to have that sword / flame?
You would have to swim across and then try and climb.
Yeah, okay. Can I try that?
All right, do that. and then
Melvin puts his hand out. Perhaps the waves might be too much. Lyx, do you think you could help with maybe gust, or maybe sort of help with the waves and the shaping of the water to sort of guide us? Lyx or Willow, perhaps even you could fly us across. I don't know, but I do know that if you try to fight those waves, you may surely meet your end.
I'm a little dude. I get it.
I think
Yeah,
I
how
think
much
it would
time has
be
passed? I
quicker
don't know if I
for
still have wings.
You still have your wings, so
Okay.
Yeah, you Willow. What the fuck?
Isabella looks at you.
What's been going on?
Isabella looks at you, Willow, and says, you must be in tune with some kind of angel, or the Raven Queen herself, to have wings of such beauty. And then she kind of like lifts up her robes and says, I'm an admirer of the Raven Queen too. Your power's stronger here, I can tell.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that after we get out of here, but we gotta focus on getting out of here first. But good to know. Yeah, I can just ferry him over, I guess, hoping that I don't get knocked out of the sky with the wind.
Who are you ferrying?
Sneak.
All right, so do an athletics check
Great. Athletics.
and a dexterity check. Actually, do an athletics and acrobatics.
Okay.
So Sneak, you're hanging on well. You're doing a good job hanging on.
Okay, not
Okay.
bad.
Your acrobatics is great, actually, for what I was hoping for. Your athletics is not. As the wind starts to pummel your wings and it pushes you back, and you try again to fly, and it's just too strong, even for you. Your power with these wings is not strong enough, and the wind keeps shoving you back, shoving you back. Sneak is hanging on the whole time, having a good time, not falling off into the water, but it's seemingly not working.
Willow not having a good time is gonna head back to shore before it gets worse.
Is there a source? What can we see? Like, do we see wind coming from an area, or is this magic wind?
Yeah, I mean, you can immediately decipher that there's nothing coming out of the walls or anything. It just seems to be appearing in this room. If anything, maybe the statue itself is creating something. The rowboat is tied, by the way, to a rope, a strong rope here, and it's just kind of like waving back and forth on the shore, I guess. Yeah, it's kind of like a shore.
Are the waves pushing in the direction kind of like it looks like on the map?
Yeah, so the waves, since so you're trying to notice like the direction of the boat. from the waves? Yeah, it looks like the waves do change actually. So they kind of push it to the right for a while. It's moving to the right, 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 and then left, 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 and then forward, 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 and then back, 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 and then right, 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 and it repeats that. Right, left, back, forward.
I guess we're going on the boat. I get on the boat and wait for Sneak.
And as you do, roll for initiative.
There's a zombie on the boat.
Roll for initiative, Willow, as immediately the red robed skeleton pops up and tries to grab you. You all can too, I guess, but definitely Willow. Isabella screams.
All right.
Okay, you're ahead of it. So what do you do, Willow? You're ahead of it. You are able to react in time. So you're first in initiative. I'm gonna move you right in front of it.
Holly's Doom isn't working. Hold on.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm guessing she attacked.
I have no idea.
So yeah, all of a sudden, this skeleton just comes to life. You know, no eye sockets or no eyeballs, just dark eye sockets in red robes as you swing your battle axe. Your axe is lit up, is it not? Immediately you slam into it and it dissolves into this horrifying black energy and just completely blows up into nothing as it is gone, and you eviscerate it with your radiant axe. But it gives out a horrifying yell that kind of echoes around in the rooms. But for now, initiative is done, and it's seemingly that was the only thing that came for you.
Hopefully this isn't like The Walking Dead. We got like a
I was gonna say,
horde
maybe-
coming our way.
Because that sounded loud.
Isabella, yeah, all of you do a perception check. Yeah, you guys just saw what happened. Here, let me do one for Isabella. Yeah, all lost in the moment. And Isabella's like, that was frightening, but incredible. Well played, Willow.
I have 50 foot of silk rope, so maybe I could tie more to the boat and two of us could stay on shore, reel you back if you start feeling out of control on the water.
If that makes you
Actually,
feel
who
better,
rolled the
that's-
highest perception? Sneak. Sneak, you do find a note. You kind of notice a note on the boat, kind of where the skeleton was. And the note says, "They have come to protect us. Allow the tide to pull you effortlessly. Only then will you find a dark flame. They have come to protect us. Allow the tide to pull you effortlessly. Only then will you find a dark flame."
That's very sus. I'm probably gonna alert all of my friends as soon as possible.
All right, you all know the note. There's no, it's just a little crappy note. There's no date. There's no who it's from. No nothing.
Try what? Okay, I will try to follow whatever the note says.
So what are you guys trying to do exactly?
Back.
Well, according to the note, we just let the tide take us and it will just take us forward. So I guess get in the boat and just not steer.
Okay,
Okay.
so what I'll do is call the boat, and how I do that is say, "Hey, boat, come here, damn it," and it pops up.
So you're getting
now
your
us-
boat too. So
Yes.
another boat appears, and that boat starts to float away immediately as the wind shoves it out. You have 1 moment to react to it. The boat
Fucking
moves
jumping in, dog.
into the water or the boat.
In the boat.
All right, do an acrobatics check.
Fuck, dude, did I say the wrong thing? I'm very
No,
dumb.
you
so I
summoned the
don't know
boat.
this,
No,
dude.
you summoned the boat. You summoned the boat.
Another boat.
You, you
I was
did what
looking
you.
for insight.
No, it's acrobatics.
Acrobatics, okay.
You're
sorry.
trying to jump onto the boat, right? Okay, you make it.
17.
You're on the folding boat. What do you do now? You're on the folding boat. The boat's shaking around. What are you trying to do, Sneak?
I don't know, really.
You just hanging on?
I'm just hanging on. Okay, we were trying to get somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Not with you. It's just you now. I was on the other boat.
Okay, we're trying to get somewhere though, right?
Statue.
This statue. Yeah, that's where I'm trying to go.
How are you trying to go there?
I'm rowing the boat. I'm just trying to get there, dog.
The wind keeps pushing against you and you can't make any progress as you just keep moving back and forth nowhere. The wind keeps shoving you around.
Stop trying, Sneak.
All right, I'm gonna just sit in this boat. I'm not gonna move. I'm gonna just sit in this boat. We got in this boat, and that's where we're gonna be. That's where I'm trying to be.
So you're chilling now in the folding boat.
Yeah, I'm just here. I'm trying to see where Melvin is. I'm trying to see where Willow is. I'm trying
They're
to
all
see
where you
Lyx
left them.
is.
They're all where you
I'm-
left them.
Okay, well, I'm gonna
So-
sit in this boat until they fucking pop up next to me.
So Sneak, you go right, it pushes you right, and then it pushes you left, 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 and then it pushes you back, 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 and then it pushes you up, 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 and then it pushes you right, 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 and you're just hanging on, and then
Yeah.
it goes left, 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 and then
I'm inhaling and exhaling while we're doing this too.
up, up, and suddenly
I got this, baby.
the water starts to rise here. As the water in the boat rise up 10 feet, and you make it to this. Can you see it now, the statue? You should be able to see it, I think. It's this thing right here. There's a sword there as well. I can describe it too if you don't see it. So you see a statue of a robed kender. You can tell this is a female kender, Sneak, and you find a bag next to it. I'm assuming you grab that bag maybe?
100%.
That bag has 2 more potions of water breathing. So you have those 2 potions of water breathing, and then you see on the pedestal of the statue, there's some writing, and then there's also a sword in between these 2 hands. It looks like a golden sword in between the 2 stony hands of this Kender statue.
That's weird to see a Kender statue, I feel like.
Willow, you actually do hear growls kind of coming from the Unity Pond room. You kind of hear a little bit of shuffling, like it's
And
still
I
from
maybe
far
do
away.
sort of an investigative check around this Kender statue.
Do it.
While he's doing that, I'm just gonna call back to the group like we might have company soon. Just a heads up.
That's good enough for you to just see this Sneak. Oh, whoops. Where did I go? Go away. The hell. Sorry, my Google Slides has been a little crazy. So Sneak, that was good enough to just see literally what was on the pedestal of this statue. Give our Kender founders something more valuable than what they have. Acceptance leads to what you see. And I can't hear you if you are trying to talk to me.
All I do is give me all your money, bitch.
Nothing happens.
Yeah, nothing.
I confess myself completely unsurprised that nothing has happened.
So give our Kender founders something more valuable than what they have. Acceptance leads to what you see.
Kenders are like
And they're holding what looks like a golden sword. So they're clutching a golden sword on both of their hands. And I think we could take a break soonish. Do we need to take a break now while you deliberate?
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Okay, let's take a 10-minute break. Alrighty, we are where we were. I think we're okay to kick off without Lyx. I think she'll be here and she can probably hear us still. Oh, there she is. We got Melvin cleaning up all the cool new sword now.
sorry.
Isabella's kind of analyzing the sword with you and kind of looks at you and says, our Lord Nuatari sure is amazing, isn't he? As you're holding what she believes to be a creation helped by Nuatari's power and influence.
So as you sort of phrase it, it's sort of memming.
And she kind of says, I never really considered myself a blacksmith, but my, this is a marvelous sword, isn't it? And she seems kind of enchanted by it.
He tries like a little mini cantrip.
You're kind of echoing. I don't know if it might be because you're all in the same room or something. You do like a cantrip, you said?
Yeah, like a mini cantrip.
Oh,
I
and I
guess.
hear you. Yeah, perfect. Cool. Yeah, but we're back where we were. Give our Kender founder something more valuable, and that's who you all are. Sneak, are you yelling this across the room? Are you kind of yelling at what you're seeing?
More than likely.
Okay, you guys can also do stuff too. You guys saw how Sneak got there. The boat is with him. You guys have a boat, but it's still tied by the rope. Sneak kind of yelling his confusion.
Melvin looks at Willow and Lyx and says, maybe the pearls and the onyx?
The black opal and the obsidian.
It's possible, but Sneak, you always told me that material things were not of value. What is it that you value?
Interaction? Ultimately, I think the value is within the interaction. I don't know.
I don't know. Are you going to interact with the statue?
Nope. I want nothing to do with it.
You have to. So what
I can't hear you, Errol.
No, I'm trying to help Colton.
So Willow's gonna call from the back. Weren't you trying to negotiate with Isabella? Is that her name? I've already forgotten. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, yep.
For
Isabella.
information for her item back? Maybe it's information.
That is true. Okay. Yes. All right. And we'll try to contact Senorita Isabella. I don't know.
I'm not sure. Do you have information to give to the statue, or you value interaction? Is there a way you can show that to the statue? If you think it's more valuable than whatever it's holding.
I will walk up to the statue and I will offer Isabella's diary. And I will be very sincere with it because
You don't have
ultimately
it.
I have.
You gave it to Isabella.
What the fuck? Isabella's fine. Okay, listen, I read her diary. I liked it. I appreciate Isabella.
You don't
That's
physically
all I
have
want.
it right now.
No, I guess not, dude. I can't remember.
You handed it to her.
I gave it to
So
her.
I think what Colton is trying to say is that he's offering information that Isabella is okay. He's letting this statue know that Isabella is okay.
And so you're talking to the statue saying Isabella's safe?
Ultimately, yes.
So you how does this look?
I'm like,
I'm like,
Ayo,
"Ayo."
statue. Isabella's like mad chill. We've been like chilling. We hung out one time. She said, yo, if you see this dude, let him know like I'm cool. And that's what happened.
And nothing happens. But suddenly there's a clink to the ground as the sword falls down and the hands are open, and the hands seemingly shift in formation, almost as if an embrace. They're wide open, as if ready for an embrace, a hug. Do you hug the statue, Colton?
With arms wide open.
And the statue's arms slowly shift around you and are behind you, and you're trapped. You're totally trapped by this statue. You can't move. What do?
I deserve that. I say this is my life now. And I just accept it.
In his defense, it does say acceptance leads to what you seek.
I
And you're
can't do
held
anything
here.
else, dude.
You're held here for what feels like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. The water potions from before have expired now. So Lyx and Melvin, your water potions are finito. As Sneak is just chilling with the statue, hugging it. Can't really, I'm guessing you're not even squirming out, it seems. And suddenly you feel something warm on your head as the statue slowly starts to let go of you. And there is a dark flame right above your head, Sneak. And the water and the wind is still. The water is still now. The wind has stopped, and there's a broken golden sword at your feet, and you now have the dark flame of acceptance, which it looks like a candle on your head as it follows your every movement and doesn't shift at all. It doesn't orbit. It's just like a weird, you look like you have a candle on your head right now. It's just following the top of your head. You can never see it, Sneak. You can never look up and see it. It keeps going away from you, but everyone else can see it. So you don't even know that you have the flame, actually, Sneak, but everyone else can see the flame above your head now.
There's Sir Bessie and Just kidding.
I think he was speaking Simlish there.
I definitely was trying to sim.
You all see the flame now. You see Sneak speaking Simlish at the top of this cliff with a flame above him, kind of like a birthday candle.
Sneak, you did it. You did it.
The wind
I
is
don't
stopped.
know what I did.
Grab that sword. Come on over. We gotta get out of here.
So you
Okay,
grab-
so I actually do have a question. Does this sword have any monetary value, or is it just
You could tell that it has some value. It's a broken, bandaged golden sword, but it's still made of gold, so it's probably
Huh.
worth something.
right? Okay.
As long as it's real gold, it's hard to tell if it is or isn't. But whatever you did, you revealing information and then hugging the statue was more valuable than this sword. So take that information as you will. But you now have a broken golden sword and the 2 potions of water breathing. I think I said that already. So you guys all have a total of 4, I think. Okay, you're done. The water is still. The folding boat is below you. The water that kind of rose up to take you to the statue is now flat again. So the folding boat is kind of below you, like 10 feet. You'd have to do a little jump of 10 feet to get into it. As Isabella is ecstatic and she's like, we have the full flames, we did it. Or you did it, sir, sneaky boy.
Gang.
Well, if you're all ready, I think we can go to the observatory, and I don't even really remember what happens next, but I know that the flames power the observatory. You
Let's
guys
go.
head that way?
Let's go to
I
the.
need you all to do.
Are we there?
I need you all to do stealth checks if you're going. Are you guys going Unity path to head back there? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, Sneak. Oh, you got it? Okay. I gotta check something. As you all are working your way to the Unity pool, one skeleton hears Melvin, Lyx, and Sneak kind of scuffle across the ground. Actually, wait, let me do one more. Oh, shit. Of course. Never mind. Isabella rolled really well, and the average just moved up. So I kind of just averaged out all of your stealth checks there. You make a sound, and Isabella kind of does something. Maybe Isabella and Willow do something to distract the skeleton before attention is paid upon all of you.
Rock wave to the other side.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, you react with the rock, and yeah, Isabella maybe does like a small cantrip to really make it like sparkle and make a little more of a pop. And the skeleton that was gonna notice Melvin, Sneak, and Lyx is now looking at that rock and heading toward the corner where it was thrown, as you all have an opening to head back to the main entrance, which is supposedly an observatory of some kind. So you all work your way there, back to our... Yeah.
Can I ask in a whisper, or is that take away
Yeah.
from the stealth?
No, there's hallways. There's a hallway.
So in a whisper, I ask Isabella, do you know anyone by the name of Ilaria?
Of who?
Ilaria.
No, I've had friends, Sister Errol and Sister Ellie, but not Ilaria, no.
Okay.
I'm sorry I can't be of assistance. Are they a friend of yours?
Not so much. You're pretty chipper for someone who's been in a crystal for 150 years.
I've been singing for that whole time, so my throat's a little lost, and I still don't really know what's going on or who these people really are. I'm hoping that these dark flames can help me remember fully. I think we need to find Lord Nuatari himself, but I'm not sure if this is what we need to do for that. So you all are back in the main entrance. All your dark flames are out. Melvin, your circulating, calm, hypnotic unity flame keeps following around you. Willow, yours is kind of trembling and sort of slowly orbiting this orb of dark flame and power. Lyx, yours is playful, jumping around you, analyzing you, noticing the flame on Sneak's head, kind of flying around it, and Sneak's, yours is just staying very still, like a birthday candle on your head, until suddenly they all shoot up. They all shoot up high, high, high into the ceilings, as each one goes into one of these large, I guess like hanging chain cauldrons. Do you guys see them way above here? Hanging above you all this entire time. They take their place into these things, lighting them up, and then suddenly going from black to purple as they shine and emit an immense power. And you all start to hear shakes around the room, and you hear the shifting of metal across the entire room. Remember, this room had a bunch of metal circlets kind of adorning the entire ceiling, these metal circles. They start shifting and moving and moving and moving and moving, and suddenly purple black energy starts to spiral across the room in lines, and it starts to look as if constellations themselves are connecting dots around you all. These purple energy beams lighting up all around you. Thousands of them start appearing around the room, creating geometric shapes and abstract constellations of immense beauty and complexity. At the edge of this long platform, 4 purple blobs, separate from what you had before, form around the end of this platform, leading into the pool. And they shift into various goo-like shape, and they float around 3 feet from the ground and 3 feet from one another above this platform. Yeah, so you guys are in a crazy room right now. The room has lit up with purple lights everywhere, purple lines of energy everywhere, seemingly like constellations, or I don't know, like that one It's Sunny in Philadelphia meme where Charlie's looking at a million strings everywhere. It's just flying in the sky above you, in the air above you. And Isabella kind of has another realization, and she's like, those energy pulses up there, they're the means to control the observatory. What was the saying? Aim at Nuatari? I think. I forget what that means though. And she kind of just leaves you all with that. Aim at Nuatari.
How do we know where Nuatari is? Do any of you know where that moon is?
In the order, I think it's the red moon, the white moon, and then Nuatari, the black moon closest, correct?
I believe that sounds right. Let me double check. Actually, I forgot to pull it up. Oh, where are you at though? So what'd you say again? Well, I'll tell you all. Especially, I feel like Melvin would definitely know this. Maybe being amazed coming out from the underground and being mesmerized by the moons themselves. The tide itself. It is Solinari on the very left of the sky, and then toward down in the center is Lunitari, the red moon, and then up above on the right side, northeast of Lunitari, the red moon, is this black void. What looks like a black void in the sky. It's no color, it just blocks out the stars. This is Nuatari. So right now, actually no, I'll let you guys do this. I won't say nothing more.
I guess my question is, do you have any idea how to move this observatory?
Yes, I believe those strange blobs of energy. Simply feel them and work with them and will them to work with you.
Each of you spread out. What if we stand on the 4 outcroppings? Focus on the braziers. Focus on directing them towards Nuatari.
So you guys do this. this. So move around. So you want to, okay, you want to be like at the 4 pools and then kind of focus your energy at the blobs. Yeah, sorry, I don't have an image for them, but they're floating near you, all kind of spread out. So Melvin, you want everyone to focus on the blobs? What are you trying to do?
Focus on the blobs and sort of will them to turn its gaze towards New Atari. Because Solinari is in the pool, reflecting in the pool.
Yes, exactly. All right, I want you all, what check would make sense? I think Arcane for the Tide users, and then for the non-Tide users, I don't know, like Investigation, maybe? Like kind of toying with it? Holy shit, a natural 20, hell yeah. Okay, this is good. Melvin, this is good because you're cooking on your own too, so the dice are rewarding you. Let me see. Okay, great. Yeah, so honestly, with the natural 20, Willow, unless you roll natural 1, I think Melvin is strong enough right now in connecting with the tide and in the guidance he's giving that, yep, you guys are good. You all kind of focus on these blobs, even you non-tide users, and the blobs start to kind of shift and move and make different shapes. And then suddenly the rings all move in unison, one after the other, clicking, 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 moving. And the circle starts to move on the ceiling away from Solinari. It moves now and it's just stars reflecting onto the pool. It kind of skims past the top of the red moon Lunitari. And then suddenly you guys, just using pure force of will, Melvin, you give the most energy out of this, remembering where it was in the night sky, remembering your first adventure with Humruruth, where you all were flying away from Soth and you got to see a perfect view of the 3 moons of Kryn in the sky. You remember where Nuatari is. Nuatari, the moon, the god of darkness, the god of maybe evil magic, and the god that maybe helped create the new Anesti. You remember all of this and guide it there as the, let me see if this works, as Solinari, oh shit, it didn't fill in, maybe there, okay, shitty thing, as now it has finally gone from Solinari, the white moon, to Nuatari. And Isabella looks at you all and kind of waits in anticipation at what is going to happen as you have all seemingly shifted the roof. So now the roof's kind of aiming like it was center, and now it's aiming like northeast, right? Way northeast. So the circle is like way aimed in another direction. And yeah, you guys do that. The rings keep shifting, thousands of rings. The energy is actually, the energy lines I mentioned before are helping move the rings, by the way. So those weird blobs are controlling these energy lines, pushing the rings around, shifting the entire room in this weird, complex, crazy thing. And then you all feel the temple start to rumble and rumble and rumble and shake and rumble and rumble. And then suddenly you hear the loudest thud of your life as it comes from behind you, the very entrance, a giant thud, just and then all the lines of energy disappear, the blobs disappear, the flames above that were purple turn black, and everything turns black as you all are in darkness, even you with dark vision. It looks like almost like a night vision kind of scene. It looks like you can only really see what's directly in front of you. Willow, immediately Kiri Jolet's blessing dies out as the light from your axe is gone completely. Then you all start to hear, well, hopefully not an ad. Can you guys hear that? You start to hear laughing around you, just surrounding you, laughing of these feminine voices, laughing loud, booming, just laughing. And then suddenly you hear what sounds like that high-pitched like wail that you hear in horror movies that starts like low and gets louder and goes and it just keeps rising and rising as the laughing continues all around you. You keep hearing laughing, and Isabella is starting to freak out and grabs onto Willow actually immediately, and she doesn't know what's going on. And you hear this is what you guys hear, the other sound, as you hear what sounds like wailing spirits in the pure darkness. The bats go crazy. The skittering of bats are everywhere. They're filling the room everywhere. You guys can feel some of them like brushing around all of you. As now the temple has finally aimed at Nuatari. It's finally where it belongs. And you all are in pure darkness. The entrance behind you totally locked out. The sound of wailing filling the air. And you hear more more shuffling as if more beings are awakening around in the darkness. Willow, your axe is gone. The light is gone from your axe. And this is where you all are.
Guys, are you still here?
So pretend that all the creepy sounds are still going. I won't leave them going the whole time, though. Isabella says, wait, this... are you all okay?
I think so.
I'm gonna blindly move, try and find my friend
We all go towards the center, we would eventually find each other.
to the
I
water.
might throw up for no reason.
You can throw up if you want.
I would like to throw up.
You puke, and some bats kind of like skitter around you. What do you all do? Every now and then you hear more laughing, more cackling.
What was the point of this?
Isabella's like, and she's trying to remember. This is familiar. These are the trials. This is supposed to happen. We have to find New Atari now. We opened the portal, I think, somewhere in this temple. Where do y'all think it could be?
Do you suppose it's in the pool?
You jump in the pool?
I was querying my companion
Okay.
whether.
Do
Isabella's
you
like,
do you think Isabella means the portal that we mentioned?
suddenly, footsteps become louder in the room you're all in, as you all are unsure exactly where they're at. But you imagine that the skeletal beings are starting to pour in. But it seems like they don't know where you all are quite yet. And they're just kind of breathing. You just hear them. And then Isabella says, "You must stay quiet. Where's the portal?"
The place where we fell?
Everything changes when New Atari is the focus. The whole temple is different.
Maybe we try to head back to the Unity room? Or wherever that was, whatever that is now?
That's the only way to go for now. It's like the entrance is blocked. Let's move swiftly. So all of you do stealth checks at advantage because it's pure darkness. Actually, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I think the skeletons are loud enough that you guys can hear them. And the bats are adding more noise to the area. So all of you do stealth checks at advantage. And I don't think I can actually stay in the darkness because I can't see shit. So pretend I'm in the darkness. I'm being creepy. Uh-oh. That's a natural one, folks.
But it's at advantage. It's
Shit,
not real.
You're right. Yep. You caught me. Got me. Okay, this is looking pretty good. For Isabella real quick. Okay, I have yellow dice, so that's good. Oh, hell yeah. All right, you all are good to go into the Unity Pond. Around the Unity Pond are a bunch of dim lit skeletons just staring at the pond, not doing anything, just kind of in a circle, staring down at it. It doesn't really seem like too much has changed here besides there being a congregation of skeletons now.
Well,
The
that
lights are all out though. It's still very dark and you guys can see it basically in dim light. You can kind of make out the shapes of the trees in the room, the statues that are there. But yeah.
From what little light we have, does the pool look portally at all?
It's very hard to tell with you can try to look. Do a perception check at disadvantage. So that's how it'll work. Stealth will be at advantage, perception will be at disadvantage in this state. That's a natural one.
Yeah, that one is.
You're just looking at skeleton butt. I'll keep this stealth check though for you all throughout the temple now. So we don't have to re-roll this.
I'll just dip my finger into the pool.
Okay, actually you'll have to do another stealth check then, or either a stealth or dexterity check to avoid the skeletons so they don't notice you. You're like crawling and trying to do this in between the legs of many skeletons right now.
21.
21? Oh god, that meme. Yeah, 21. Yeah, you do it. Just the way I said it by accident, I was like 21. It kind of came out like it. Anyways, ignore that. Be scared. You put your finger in and you feel the normal swirl of the Unity pool, and it doesn't feel arcane really. It feels like it used to be. And you do notice that the skeletons are kind of just looking down at it pretty peacefully. And these are all black-robed individuals. Some of them do have the crusty tentacles coming out of their chins.
I don't think this is it. I mean, to me, we should be trying to make our way to the portal where we saw the stars.
So Lyx, you tell everyone that you want to go back to the portal room? Okay.
Are you talking about the pit? Because the pit just brought us back to where we just were. Or do you think it's going to port us somewhere else now?
Isabella said everything's different with new Atari.
Worth a shot.
As you're talking, the skeletons kind of grab around each other and like look like they're hugging each other.
Can we make our way without light?
Yeah, it's a little slow, but you guys kind of remember the passageway. You go to the right of the Unity pool into the tentacle monster room. There's some skeletons that are looking down at this water, also dully and you know, kind of in a trance. One of them's kind of walking around and falls into the water and then just is like kind of floating around in it as bats keep skittering about. But you guys curve downward. And with your high stealth checks, you guys actually are able to outmaneuver some that are in the spiraling down stairwell. They're just kind of walking by you and not noticing you. And you all make it down to the portal, or to the pit room, right? Except now it looks like the stars are rising. It looks like tiny images. Sorry, let me turn on my lights because I can't see shit. I didn't think that part through. Yeah, you guys kind of see these like these stars that are the size of a fingertip kind of spread around like constellations and like the galaxy rising up out of the pit. But the writing is ineligible. It's too dark to see that writing that Willow previously read in Celestial. There are some skeletons kind of looking down at the pit, and some of them like jump in. But yeah, they're all kind of just standing around dully. As you all, being stealthed and kind of calm in spite of the situation, are not drawing their attention.
I'll enter the pit.
You just dive in.
I'll look back and say, I think this is it.
We'll turn to Isabella before you do that. Are you coming too?
Isabella says, "This." Seeing Lyx do this, she's like, "This is the trial." And then she like runs forward and kind of spreads out her wings like a hawk and dives into the pit.
Sneak being the degenerate fuck he is, he loves anything his friends are doing, he's gonna do. So he sees Lyx going full spread, he's about to do it. No regard for his own safety, he will follow suit as soon as he sees his friend doing it.
Yeah, as soon as I see her go for it, I'm gonna follow.
So you all follow suit, but this time you don't fall at such breakneck speeds as before. You actually all start to catch up to one another, falling down. And suddenly the flames come following all of you. The flames from the beginning have followed you this whole time and you all haven't noticed. And they start dancing around you, all following, as the stars are starting to form brighter and brighter and brighter. And you're flying at breakneck speeds until suddenly in the distance, you all see a large sphere of earth and blue. And I need you all to do an investigation check. Melvin, you immediately realize, only Melvin realizes that you're looking at Kryn, and you look away and you see the moons out light years away or however far away as you're flying through space together until finally you all land gently, being controlled by something. Something's controlling you all, easing your fall. You all make it. Oh god, did I grab the portal by accident? Shit. How the fuck do I get rid of that? Alright, well, let me move you all. Copy and paste. You all make it here to this giant rocky circle orbiting around as the stars below you shine brightly. And our good friend Isabella is also here with you all. And she finally appears as a token with you all. Sneak, I may have missed you, so you can spawn, or I can spawn you, Sneak. I'll spawn you real quick. As you all are here now, stars are around you, the moon of Kryn is gone, you can somehow breathe, and you feel floaty. You feel as if you could jump much higher than you could. You feel like gravity is disappearing here. So yeah, Isabella kind of like is astonished, and she's like, this is all coming back to me. And then she kind of like flaps her wings and she's like, this is where I can fly. And tears start to like fall down her face as she's laughing and giggling. And she runs up and jumps and is able to float across this pit to make it to the other side. And you guys are all in space on this rock with the stars below, Kryn in the distance, the moon's looming high. And you all you all notice there are some beings in black robes scattered around this rock, and they have their hands up in the sky. Oh, Yeah, you guys have a synchronized, before all this, you guys have a synchronized swimming, beautiful little tangles, with the orbs floating around, a little, I don't know, Palpatine Opera House, little swimming in the water bubbles kind of thing, looping around, flying around. A thing of beauty. You guys look like butterflies chasing each other.
Are the giant chains here?
Yeah, there's giant weird chains connecting together this entire large rock as these kind of eerie stars shine very bright in the center. And the beings in black robes have their hands up and they're just kind of, it's hard to tell what they're muttering, but they're muttering something incomprehensible. Isabella's just kind of floating around happily, enjoying zero gravity.
Could I go closer to one of the beings? That's the one over here.
Which one?
The one that I'm
Okay.
moving toward. Can I hear what they're saying?
It's total gibberish. It's just a super fast, almost possessed tongue of something incomprehensible. And as you get closer, you actually notice living tentacles pouring out of its robe, out of its chin, of these black robe individuals. And you see them and they look like this. They look like these black robed individuals, the same as before, but now living tentacles. The one that you're looking at looks more like the one on the right. It looks like it's totally consumed by something and just muttering this craziness, and it hasn't acknowledged you at all.
Seeing that they're in their trance, I'll kind of start floating around and try and get a better sense of what these rocks are. Like, I don't know if I can go far enough away to like get a big picture sense of what I'm looking at.
Yeah, as you try to move, you realize that when you move to the left here, you appear over here on the right, and you realize quickly that you're trapped in some kind of strange gravitational pull here. So even though you can jump across this pit, left leads to the right side and down leads up, if that makes sense. So tower fall rules, and the beings are ignoring all of you still.
I think also as me, I would be very curious of what's going on, and like I would probably get really close up to their faces, like touch all their tentacles.
What are you trying to do? Like just be in their face?
And yeah, but also maybe like an investigation, like maybe see if they're even real beings.
Sure, do an investigation check. I'm gonna say you're too short to be right in their face, right? Unless you have a way to get closer to their face.
I'm too short, bitch.
But a 10? Wait, I didn't see it. Is it the 10
You
or
said
is that from the floor?
investigation?
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, they look like strange beings. They look like the living versions of what you've all seen in the temple with the crusty tentacles. This looks like the living versions of them. With a 12, yeah, I mean, they're doing something. They're muttering something. And I have this going, a little timer for something. So do stuff. Timer's on.
So I'm going to turn to Isabella and ask, you're remembering more about these trials. Is this an end point? How do we get out of here, seeing that if you go one way, you end up back at the other?
She looks so happy and lost as one of the stars blots out in the sky, and actually another one blocks out in the sky. And she says, this is New Atari. We're here. And then you look down and you kind of notice the red moon looming below and the white moon shining way out in the distance.
You're telling me we're on a moon?
We're in the great void. And she's kind of crying. I think my memories are going to come back to me here. I'll be close to my sisters.
The no longer living sisters?
What do you mean?
We've
And then
just
another star dots out of existence. Shit, I fucked this one up. There we go. What do you mean not living? Or what do you mean not living?
Everyone we encountered seemed like they weren't corporeal.
No, it's not possible. This is a trick by the red robes. They're masters of illusion. My sisters can't be gone. And then suddenly,
Out here?
suddenly things start to change. And then suddenly the sky looks like this. All right, are you guys there? And the beings are still around, kind of in their same spots.
So
But now there's just two massive stars in the sky that almost look like they're staring right at you all.
They look like
As their muttering and their chanting gets louder and louder, and their hands are in the sky. And then Isabella says, wait, I don't remember this part. New Atari should have been here by now. The trials should be over. What is going on? Do any of you know? And suddenly you hear, in the darkness, there is one. And they're like waving back and forth, these tentacled beings. We are all in one, in the darkness. And in the darkness, there is one. and they're all chanting in unison. And Isabella's like, yes, we are. And then suddenly booming from below, there is, you keep hearing, there is one. And it's like coming at all of you, this large, echoing, whispering voice just screaming at you, there is one. As suddenly you all see this, a massive face appearing at the center as whatever these beings were summoning, they're content. And being opens its mouth, and these tentacled cultists fly out.
That's definitely a whole ass face.
And you guys can see what looks like this horrifying face in the middle as Isabella is standing there in shock. And
Melvin's face goes white and he sort of like pulls her out or pulls her back, maybe.
Oh, Isabella?
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't remember any of this. What is this? What is going on? And then suddenly the face looks at all of you and says, the child of darkness and her friends. You think you can face me? You can come to me and demand something of me when you all can't even face your own selves, your own darkness. And suddenly your orbs, the flaming flames around you, start to move, and they move to the center. They start spinning and spinning and spinning, and you hear what sounds like a baby crying from the orbs, a baby crying sound, 4 babies crying, and then suddenly heads start to pop out of the flames. Heads come out, and they look like this. If I can share, someone that looks just like Lyx, but with darker skin, possessed eyeballs, pops out of the flame and floats out onto the rock. And then a demented looking Melvin, who looks so sad, so broken, starts to pop out. And then an evil looking Willow with pure dark eyes, wings darker than the night, a strange helmet, and a shining black axe starts to appear. And a demented Sneak pops out of one of the final flames, does an acrobatic roll and jump onto one of the parts of the orbiting rock as they all
I have no
look.
idea what you're saying.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Barely.
Is the music too loud?
The music was really loud when you were telling us what was going on.
Yeah. Oh, perfect timing. That sucks. You guys can control the audio, by the way, on Roll20.
But I think when you share sound as you're sharing your
it blasts
screen,
it
then we
through.
can't control it.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, basically, shadow versions of all of you popped out, and I did little cool intros for each of them. But yeah, so you guys have these evil versions of yourselves that are born out of your flames. Boom. We have Melvin appearing right next to all of you. I'll turn down the music further. Sorry about that. You guys can also speak. I can't see the chat all the time when I'm sharing. So we have Shadow Willow over here. We have Shadow Sneak, who looks demented and crazy. We have Shadow Melvin, who looks utterly depressed, but also dark. And then Shadow Lyx just looks calm and ready to roll. And I need you all to roll for initiative as the cultists all look at you, disturbed by your presence, and the shadow versions of all yourselves. Sneak, your shadow self looks at you and is twitching. Willow, yours looks grand and powerful. Lyx, yours looks calm and ready to roll. And Melvin, yours kind of like gets up from a slump and looks at you and has their harp out. Okay. Let me destroy the... Oh, shit. Okay, so the new rolls. It always keeps the old rolls for some reason.
Do y'all want to take a quick break
Yeah, I
before
think we should.
hop into
I was
combat?
going to say we should. I'll arrange the initiative, and then we can pick up from here. You guys can go ahead and take a break. I'll arrange the initiative.
It's time to lock in Bronzeverse.
Yeah, as you all are going to face yourselves, essentially. So yeah, if you want to say anything to your shadow selves, now's the time.
I think Melvin is going to be a little shocked about the appearance of a shadow version of him. He's confused, he's sad, he's wondering if he can do this without Melodia. I noticed that it's a shadow version of Melvin, not a shadow version of Melodia.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like something Melvin has to do himself. Is
Did you
the
say
amulet of
anything?
melodic enchantment still dead?
It's dead.
So Melvin tries to spin around.
Nothing happens.
I think ultimately, like, Sneak's a little dumb bitch, so he's gonna be like, hey, that motherfucker's cute. But He doesn't realize the gravity of what's going on.
And then, yeah, your version says, "Yeah, you're gonna be a lot cuter with my dagger in you, bub."
Fuck you, pussy.
Fuck you. No, fuck you. You have the
No.
secrets. You have the secrets, don't you? No, you don't, you dumb bitch.
Fuck you.
We're never gonna know anything.
We should probably kiss, dude. Fuck you.
That's not a bad idea. I'll kiss your dead body. Anything else? Anyone else?
That's hard. I'm done with that.
Lyx takes a breath, thinks enough. Lyx takes a breath and says, "You are of stone and salt. She of something else entirely." And just trying to like take a deep breath, feeling a little bit nervous about going up against her.
I sort of miss what you said directly to Shadow Lyx. You are of salt? Oh, Binks is barking. Anyone else want to jump in before, and we'll get back to Abbey?
Yeah, I'll just kind of look her up and down. She seems like she has about the same stuff as me.
For the most part, yeah.
Okay. Does she have the wings too?
Yeah, and they're darker than yours.
Yeah. So she's just gonna look her up and down and be like, "Oh, I kind of look good. Let's dance, bitch."
And she says, "This will be your last dance." And she kind of like smiles at you creepily. And Lyx, I forget, do you want to clarify exactly what you said?
Yeah, sorry. I was kind of talking to myself. I was saying, I am of stone and salt. She is of dark wastes. Actually thinking about, because of my parents, they kind of struggled to conceive, and kind of a little bit upset that there's this demonic version of myself. And I'm actually thinking about Bill Brooks and Waywin a little bit and gathering some strength from them.
Weirdly enough, compared to, well, we haven't seen Melvin interact yet with his necessarily, but at least with the Willow and the Sneak, those were kind of talkative. They were responding. Yours is just kind of looking at you blank, and like anything you say or do, it's not being affected. It's just looking at you blank. Alrighty. Well, Willow, you start us off unless anyone has anything to say. Then Willow, you're at the top. The tentacled cultists are also starting to look at all of you as the sky booms and everyone is shifted around, including the shadow versions. Did my roll 20 crash? Uh-oh. It may have crashed. Are you guys still there? Okay. Shadow Sneak switches spots with Melvin. Whitehand's kind of thrown over this way. Melvin, you're thrown over this way. Lyx, you're over here. Willow, we'll say you're right there. And Sneak, you're over here with Isabella. That guy moves. Lyx crosses as the being in the middle is shaking gravity and forcing all of you to switch exactly where you were, moving around. And now, Willow, you go. So you've moved around. Hopefully you can see where you're at. And then we have, I guess, my shadow people next.
Okay, so I try to activate the Curijolis blessing. Does that go?
It actually does.
Okay, cool. So sorry, we just got this back, so let me measure out. Yeah, I can get
Oh,
there.
true. You're across from Shadow Willow. Yeah.
I am now.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have measured that before, but obviously didn't know where everybody was.
Yep, no, you're good.
Okay, so I'm gonna move right up into melee with her and just go out, kick into a rage, actually.
Okay, bonus action rage.
And yeah, I'm just gonna try to attack her with the now activated. Wow, my sense of being able to be eloquent about this just left me.
Jealous blessing. Yep, you're good.
Yep.
Roll to hit.
Battle axe, sorry, yes.
And then after my shadows, it looks like Melvin and Lyx are up, or some of my shadows will go. Alrighty.
20 hit?
That does hit.
Cool.
Roll damage and add that D4. As your version says, your shadow version says, they're all gonna leave you. You know your friends are gonna leave you. They always do.
Shut up, bitch.
Slash at her with radiant damage. How much do you have for the radiant? Okay, you rolled that. Holy shit. Okay. All right, so that is 11.
16 total, but 5 is radiant, if that seems to do anything different.
Suddenly, as you light up Curijolis and blast into her, she is pulverized by this radiant energy, shocked by this blessing that you have, this thing that she does not. As shadow pieces start to fall out of her, you did a heavy fucking hit on her, and the radiant damage was especially effective. Anything else? She screams out this horrifying wail.
I'm just gonna yell to everybody else, Radiant seems really helpful if you have it.
Alrighty. And then Shadow Lyx. Where the fuck did I move Shadow Lyx? Shadow Lyx kind of jumps so everyone can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh yeah, sorry. So gravity, your jump is your movement plus 10. So you can do a jump that's your movement plus 10 in this area. I totally forgot to say that. So movement plus 10 is a massive jump, a gravity jump here. Shadow Lyx saw her friend getting wrecked and kind of looks at you dully and then starts to light up electricity from her hands. And I need you, actually I just have to roll to hit. Oh my God, no way. Fuck. I totally missed. But Shadow Lyx is concentrating in on lightning. So as her dull form is kind of stupidly looking, she just totally misses you, Willow. And I think that's her turn. So Shadow Sneak goes and says, wow, you guys suck. He like says it to his shadow versions as he runs up and takes a bonus action to hide behind Lyx's body and then takes a shot at you, Willow. All right. He hits with that, so I will roll damage. And Willow, you are in a rage, so you will take 5 damage. Fuck! Okay, you take 5 damage. Dang, rage is strong as fuck. Because this is piercing damage, and rage has that. So even though it's a big old hit, it hurts you less. Do you want me to subtract it from you, Willow, or you got it?
No, I already took care of it. I wasn't
Okay.
quite at full, but I'm close. Or I was.
Okay, perfect. All right. That's it for Shadow Sneak. Melvin, it's your turn. And then we have Lyx and Sneak. Regular old Sneak.
Oh, it's Melvin first.
Yes, sorry, Melvin first. Melvin, Lyx, Sneak. And Melvin, you're muted.
That's not me.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so 30 feet is the jump, and then plus 10, and then I'm going to aim at Shadow Melvin. Go ahead and make me a DC save.
Of what?
Dex.
Oh, natural 1! As Shadow Melvin doesn't even get up from his ass. He's just kind of moping on the ground. And he says, you know you're nothing without her. You are.
You're literally
Well,
right
I'm gonna try, he says kind of confidently. So
What
12
are you, what are you sending out? 12 damage of what?
radiant. 1d8 plus 5 for radiant.
Holy shit, what attack is this?
This is dimension beam.
Oh,
Sacred
I forgot
flame.
it's radiant. Fuck, okay. Goddamn, so 12 damage? Oh my God. This is hilarious. Oh God, he gets blown away. Those shadow pieces of him start falling apart. His shadow hand falls. His right hand is missing. And he's like, oh, that was rude. And he stands up and looks at you as he looks rough. He looks like he's falling apart just from that one blast. Holy shit, you guys are strong as fuck. All right,
Let's
anything
see.
else?
Wait 1 second. Sorry, my character sheet disappeared.
Yeah, Roll20's been a little weird for me too. I feel like it gets like stuck.
Yeah,
more
maybe
than
other
normal.
people are playing today. Bonus action. I'm gonna use Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
I'm gonna use it on Lyx.
Okay.
I'm
What's the
gonna shout,
distance on that?
within
Actually,
earshot.
okay. And I'll say that even if you are far, somehow yelling across. Shit, where's my ping? Does my ping not work? Oh my God.
No matter.
Yelling across over here. I'm not sure why my left mouse is not working. There we go. Sorry. Yelling across over here kind of somehow makes it emanate across diagonally to Lyx. So you are now inspired with the D6, Abbey. Perfect. Alrighty, is that it for you, Melvin?
Yep.
Awesome. Lyx, you're up, and then we got Sneak.
Okay, is the person by me a foe? This buddy here?
Where are you? Yeah. He's looking at you
That's-
menacingly, the tentacled monster. Yep.
Okay, because there's like the one that's in the initiative order looks more like that one.
Yeah, he looks a little scarier. There's more magic energy pulsing out of that one.
So they're all part of the fight.
Seemingly so. They're looking at you all with anger and danger.
So I can't pass him without taking an opportunity attack.
No, but there are ways to get past him without going near him.
You said this tower fall rules?
Yeah, you
Okay,
could jump from
then,
this
yep.
diagonal to
Yeah,
end
yeah.
up over here.
Okay, but I couldn't go near Willow.
That would be harder. You could go to the left and end up over here.
All right, that's what I'm going to do. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. All right, I'm going to give myself Ray of Sickness to
Okay.
cast toward Shadow Lyx.
Okay, so she's got to do it. Oh wait, no, you
I
gotta
have to
roll
make
hit.
a ranged
Yep.
spell attack. Yeah. Ooh, 11.
That misses.
Yeah.
Shadow Lyx in Witch Bolt form just kind of skimpers over and dodges your attack. So that just goes to nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? And we have Sneak up next.
As a bonus action, I'm gonna give myself Dragon's Breath.
Okay.
Mm.
You got Dragon's Breath. Alrighty. And then that's probably it. So Sneak, you're up.
Okay. Okay, I would like to do just a simple action of shooting. However, let me find my thing here. I know I have sneak attack that may be able to be put on.
If someone's within 5 feet of a foe, then yes.
Okay, who is this motherfucker?
That's Shadow Melvin.
That's Shadow Melvin. Let's take
Yeah.
him out.
All right. Roll to
Let
hit.
me go. Let me go ahead and yeah, hit him with that 1-2. And if I remember right, if I hit this crossbow action, it'll roll the hit and then the damage,
Yes,
right?
I think you have it all in there. Yep. And that actually does hit, I believe. It does.
15 and then 8 piercing damage.
And as you shoot him, he actually doesn't even look at you, Sneak. And he looks at Melvin and he says, "Oh, your friends are strong. Looks like you'll need them forever." And then he disappears and kind of turns into the black orb again as his body totally disappears and he starts floating around in the center, seemingly gone. It seems like you finished off Shadow Melvin.
Fuck you, pussy.
Anything else you want to do?
Nope, just that.
Perfect. All right, it's Shadow Willow's turn, and she immediately enters a rage and slams onto you with a reckless attack at advantage, Willow. Oh my fucking god, are you serious? Does a 15 hit?
Yeah, 15 hits.
Okay, shit, I thought I missed. That was at advantage. I was like, oh my god. So the way reckless attack work is now all attacks are at advantage on Shadow Willow. Until
Next.
she... Huh?
I think it's just the next one.
No, it's
Like
the
the
whole
next
turn
turn.
until their turn, I
Okay.
think. But maybe, are you sure?
No, I'm
But-
not. I'll Google it. You continue.
I'll keep the until they go again rule because that's better for you guys. So she is, if she survives, but she hits and she'll roll for damage as her axe lights up in this necrotic dark energy. And she hits you for, so with your resistance, Willow, it's going to be 4, so it's going to be 8 damage. The necrotic damage is not lessened by the rate.
Okay.
As she slams onto you in full anger, and she's like, "Why do you fight what you are?" And now it's Shadow Melvin's turn, who's just floating around, seemingly dead. And Isabella's gonna go, and Isabella's actually gonna cast Bardic Inspiration as a bonus action on you, Colton. So you now have a D6, Colton. Sneak, and she's going to jump across from here, go here, and cast Cure Wounds on you, Willow. Alrighty, and she gets 6 more health for you.
I'm pretty sure
So-
Cure Wounds is touch.
Oh, is it? I'll do it. Boom. She's right there. I'll believe the cleric, the healer, the bard. Alrighty. And then we have this
You said that's
arcane.
+6 for me.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure I do the math right.
Yep. So then this creepy cultist is gonna go. They're kind of far away. Actually, this guy's just gonna stay put and kind of put his hands in the air and do some weird chanting. So this guy over here. And Willow, it is now your turn.
Okay, how rough is Bizarro Willow looking?
He's looking pretty rough. Oh wait, sorry. Before you go,
Yeah.
Nuatari speak, or whatever this being is, speak and says, I am void in the sky. I am the void in the sky, the unifier of all worlds, of all being. And suddenly, Shadow Melvin returns with more health. Shadow Willow looks a little better than before. Shadow Lyx looks fine. Shadow Sneak look fine, as it seems like more dark energy poured through them. Again, Shadow Melvin's born out of this strange dark flame, kind of crawling out of it, and mopes back onto the stage. And they're back with a little more oomph to them. All right, Willow, your turn. Now it's actually your turn, Willow. Then we have a couple shadows, and then it's Melvin.
Okay, so you said she's looking less rough. Is she still looking kind of rough? Like it doesn't look like
Yeah,
she's
I mean, you heard her.
like that?
Yeah, she doesn't look fully fit. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna go same as last time. Just go for it.
perfect. So it's the 8, right? Not the natural 20? I think
Except
so.
that you give me advantage because she went reckless.
Oh, fuck! I did do that, didn't I? Fuck, so the natural
that
20
is a
hits.
hit and a crit.
That's a hit and a crit. Okay, so
Oh.
do your roll damage, and then we'll, yeah, just roll your
Okay.
damage.
So
Fuck!
critical
No, this is
damage
great.
1d6 on top of that, and then I also get my radiant on top of that. So,
So
this
with the
one,
critical damage, I just double it.
Mhm.
So
Oh.
whatever you roll, I'm gonna double, which is a lot. That'll be good.
eh,
It'll be your rolls. So just roll. Okay.
I did.
So, okay. She disappears into a puff before she can utter anything to you. Gets totally annihilated, turns into this black flame, and starts floating around. She turned back into a dark flame, but seemingly she's not Shadow Willow anymore. She's back to the flame form.
Okay, and with the rest of my turn, I'm just gonna shout over to Isabella. Any idea how to keep them dead?
Try and get them all down at the same time.
Got it. That's the end of my turn.
Alrighty. Shadow Lick, still in Witch Bolt form, launches another shot at you, so I will roll for that. Oh god. Does a 12 hit?
Yeah, 12 hits. My
Oh,
AC is
shit.
only
Oh, that doesn't sound right. It should be higher. Your AC should be, like, you add your dex and your constitution as a barbarian.
I think my AC is 13.
Yeah, your AC should be a lot higher than that.
Okay, so what am I supposed to add then? Because it says my armor.
We'll call it 10. We'll call it 10 for now.
Okay.
But it's definitely not that. So I'm gonna hit you.
I didn't even
So
buy armor.
just look up the barbarian class and it'll tell you, you can do this now since you have a whole round. Oh my god, I rolled a 12. So that's the
Okay.
maximum on this D12, unfortunately. So you take 12 damage. And this is lightning damage, so it's not negated
My
by
plus five.
the rage.
Alright.
Alrighty. Yeah, I think I'll leave that for Shadow Lick. Shadow Sneak is gonna kind of jump over here and just tackle you with a dagger, Melvin. So he's gonna roll to hit and he misses. And he's gonna use his bonus action to disengage with you normally and not be in range for an opportunity attack. He's actually gonna disengage and move this way. And now he's over there hugging that side. Alrighty, Melvin, your turn, and then we got Lyx and Sneak. And before you go, Melvin, the area here starts to rumble like crazy. This
Wait.
rock starts to shake like crazy.
Okay.
Bottom part of his jaw.
Bottom part of his jaw. But
Boom. Further than the rocks.
yeah, I'm gonna hit him with another dimension beam.
Do it. Do it.
Okay, go ahead and roll
Oh,
me
Dex, right?
Dex.
Oh shit, they may have saved actually. That is an 18.
Yep, they save.
Shit. Okay. Anything else?
No.
Shit. All right, we got Lyx and Sneak. So
Okay.
yeah, Shadow Melvin
Who-
just kind of finally dodges and says, maybe I'll try this time.
Shadow who
Errol, were you talking to us? Because you were muted.
no.
So I'll do the dragon's breath on Shadow Licks. So do a dexterity saving throw.
Failed. Oh shit.
Okay.
So damage.
11.
And is this fire?
Yeah.
Okay. She actually takes a little less damage somehow.
Duh.
As the shadow energy kind of like absorbs some of the flame blast. And she just looks at you dully and has like a light smile. All right. Anything else for you?
I'm gonna move a little bit.
Okay. And then we got Sneak up next.
I'm actually gonna move back to the rock the other side and face the cultist.
Okay. Alrighty. If that's it for your turn, then we got Sneak up.
Okay, who is this motherfucker right here?
Some random cultist. They kind of have
So-
their arms up in the sky chanting.
So they don't have to be hit?
I don't know.
Fuck, dog. Okay, so everybody should be hit in order to have some sort of action happen, right? Was that
So what
the
Isabella
thing?
said was take down the shadows at the same time, or like keep them down together.
So I probably shouldn't hit that motherfucker, huh?
You have
Is he casting
you have
something?
30 seconds to decide, Colton. You have 30
Oh
seconds.
fuck. Dude, maybe I'm gonna try to hit him.
Timing.
I'm gonna try
I'm
to hit
timing
him.
you.
I'm gonna try to hit him.
Okay.
We
you're
trying to
hitting the
hit him.
cultist. Do it. Roll the hit.
Yeah. So I'm gonna before I run, I'm gonna just try to do a quick jog closer to this guy, maybe like right here, and then I'm going to try to aim at him. I'm sorry, at him. And you said roll the what?
Roll the hit.
Okay, so let me find my shit. Please be patient as I am.
You're one-handed. It's okay. I got you.
Yeah, thank you.
And then we have a lot of my characters next. That definitely
20
hits. Holy shit. Yep. Okay. And that actually one-shots this cultist as it's hit right in the eyeball. This guy's
Bitch.
dunzo. Anything else?
But let me paint this picture real quick. So I see
Oh, yeah,
this
yeah, go ahead.
cultist paint, doing his thing, calling spells or whatever. I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure if he's even it, but I'm gonna just start running towards him, and I'm gonna slide, and I'm gonna pull out my gauntlet, and I'm gonna just shoot, and it fucking hits him straight in the eye, fucking down, dude.
Awesome.
It may not do nothing, but I feel cool.
Hey, one less enemy. One less enemy is always good. Alrighty. So. Oh,
And my
shit, where
turn.
did Yep. So we have Shadow Willow just kind of floats around aimlessly when Shadow Melvin notices all your friends grouped up, Melvin, and says, "This is how it's done, Melvin." And he kind of like walks up, and I need everyone here make a Constitution saving throw. So I think Melvin knows what I'm doing. I need Willow, Lyx, and Isabella, which I'll do to make a
I'm-
Constitution saving throw.
Cristian, I'm on the other rock. That's Shadow Lyx.
Oh shit, he's hitting Shadow Lick. That's fine. He's hitting Shadow Lick. I'm okay with that. So he's aiming his ability that way. I'll do a save for Shadow. Oh, that's a D12. She fails. Okay. So we just have Willow and Isabella then. Okay, you succeed actually. Okay, so then you guys will take. Boo, 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 boo. All right, so Willow, you will take 7 damage. I think that's half of 15 rounded down. So 7 damage, or I guess it should be up. 8 damage. And then this one, oh god, he wipes out Shadow Lick. The Shadow Lick is hit as a giant sound. He reverberates a giant sound from his harp, slams that area. She also did not save. Wyhan gets hit, and that is it, I believe. Yep. So loud ass sound just up as you guys are hit by Melvin's shatter spell. Okay, and then as a bonus action, shit, everyone's dying. He's going to sing to Shadow Sneak and give him a D6 bardic inspiration. And it's the scary, like, demented song. So Shadow Sneak now has a D6 inspiration. All right, and now it's Isabella's turn. And she actually is like, enough of this, enough of this. And the area here keeps shaking and shaking. And she starts to levitate. And she says, Nuitari, I knew you wouldn't hurt me. And she starts to rise, and she starts to sing and just starts floating around as she is now out of combat, essentially, but singing throughout the arena. And the music starts to rise as her voice emanates throughout. And everyone who doesn't have a bardic inspiration die, you now have a D6 bardic inspiration, as she is letting the tide and Nuitari and her trust in Nuitari fully take over. And as she's singing and doing these wails, Black Robe's sisters start to rise from this portal and start following her, and kind of like following as shooting stars following some kind of gravitational pull. So more and more Black Robe sisters kick in. The arcane black cultist notices this and jumps over here and launches an attack at her, and it's gonna be a giant gateway. So this is gonna be, he creates this giant sphere across this plane that she's flying into. As tentacles start to come out of this void, ice starts coming out and pure madness. This area here is now some kind of horrifying realm of terror and tentacles and pain caused by this arcane cultist. So Colton, it's good that you killed one of them. Alrighty, and that is it. We have something else that's going to happen now, as all of you are now, let me see, how can I do this? This earth starts to shake. I'm going to try something and pray that it works. Come on. I think it's working. Sorry guys, work with me. There we go. Hell yeah. Okay, you guys can reposition yourselves a little. If I missed anyone, let me know. But now a giant hand bursts through the bottom of the arena. Lyx, were you down there? Were you actually down there? I just copy and pasted you all. You guys can kind of reposition. It might be a little off.
I wasn't on the shaky rock, but I was on a rock.
Okay, do
So
a
it's
dex,
okay to
do a
be
dex
here?
save. Do a dex save. As this cultist takes half damage and still gets obliterated by this giant hand that comes out, and they're totally gone.
17.
Oh shit, nice. You take half damage, so you take 6 damage as this giant hand appears from the void trying to grab you and crush you. You avoid being grabbed, but you still get slammed out. Rocks bursting everywhere. They start floating off like asteroids into the sky. And now, Willow, it is your turn.
Okay, but nobody came back, right?
No one yet. No, noticeably no one did.
Okay, I was kind of prepping for that. So just gonna see how far that's a ways. How much extra do we get with the
So it's your movement speed, which I think everyone's is 30 plus 10.
Yeah.
So right now, Shadow Lyx and Shadow Willow are out floating around. Shadow Sneak is over here, and yeah, Shadow Melvin's over here. Isabella's kind of floating around. She's out of combat essentially, but she could still get hurt.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and
She's actually singing the song you guys hear right now.
over to here, which is about the 40 I can go. And then I'm just gonna shoot a radiant burst at Shadow Melvin there. Because I think he's the only guy I can get in range of at all.
Cool. Roll to hit.
Okay.
I'm squishy. Go for it.
Yeah,
That's
no,
squishy.
that didn't. No,
Do you want to try
I guess
your?
someone-
Well, that's a natural one, isn't it?
it's a nat one. It's not gonna. There's
Yeah,
no
your,
way.
Your bardic inspiration won't help. Lyx, you can walk on the hand. It's just kind of floating up now, but you might not want to end your turn on the hand. Anything else?
She's probably just gonna scream "fuck" and just yeah. That's it.
Shadow Sneak's like, oh, I got an idea. Let me try this shit out. And he kind of just aims at the other side of the planet. Oh my god, he rolls a natural 20 at Melvin. Melvin, he rolled a nat 20 at you from across the planet, or the orbital rock. So I will tell you, this is bad, guys. Oh, and I rolled like shit, of course. You take 20 damage, though, still. Are you still conscious? Yes, you are. Do you want to subtract it, or you want me to do it? So he, like, drops down to the ground. He's like, let me try this shit out. And he just, like, shoots from across the planet. He shoots to his left, aiming at you, knowing that you're there. And it's a pure sneak attack coming out of nowhere, an arrow stabbing you viciously. I'll subtract your health on your token because I have you at 29. Okay, so you get hit pretty bad. I'll say that. Maybe your neck even gets hit and you're just like, oh, what? Oh, and just blood just starts bursting out of you, Melvin. As Shadow Sneak's like, and he kind of like runs over here. He's like, oh, that's creepy as fuck. And kind of jumps on the hand, and the hand does nothing. And he's kind of staring at you now, Lyx. And that's it. Melvin, it's your turn. Then we got Lyx, and then we got Real Sneak.
I'm gonna drink a health potion.
As a bonus action or full action?
Bonus action.
Okay, roll for that.
1d6.
I think so, yeah. It's like a 1d6 plus, because the maximum is 10. So yeah, it's 1d6 plus 4. So roll that d6 and add 4.
8.
Perfect. You get back 8 health. I'll add that for you.
I'm gonna try and hit him with Dimension Beam again.
Shadow Melvin?
Yeah.
Do it.
Go ahead and save.
Oh yeah, Dex, sorry. Oh shit, he super fails.
Yeah. Okay. So
That
5
does it.
regular damage, 5 radiant.
Do you say anything to him? How does this look?
That's how it's done.
And he kind of like scoffs at you and says, seemingly somewhat impressed. Alrighty. Anything else? All right, Lyx, it's your turn, and then we got Sneak.
Sorry, movement behind Willow.
Oh,
That's valid.
yep. Okay. And if that's all, then Lyx and then Sneak.
Okay, so I'm gonna go here, like on this other rock that's not the hand, jump through 40 feet, and fire Dragon Breath to Shadow Sneak.
Do it. Oh,
You have to do no, you do a dex
Dex?
save.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, a natural 20! What the hell, Shadow Sneak? Oh my god. Fucking natural 20.
So you still take 7 damage. So it's just
Okay.
half damage.
Yeah, I know. But it's just crazy. The Shadow Sneak mostly dodges your attack, but still gets hit a little bit. Oh, it is fire though. Did you have that 7? He would
Wait,
only take,
what?
he's resistant to fire damage.
Yeah, I can't change it now that it started. So yeah.
I know,
So
but
what is
well,
it?
it'll be 4 damage.
Damn. Okay.
Alrighty, anything else? As the shadowy fire, the tide energy pulsing out of this being absorbs it. And he's like, oh, nice hit. Now it's your turn to get hit.
Great. No, but I'm gonna let go of my concentration of Dragon's Breath.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Sneak, it's your turn.
I want to do unspeakable damage upon Dark Snake. Could
Okay.
you point him out to me real quick?
Yeah, it's a big map. So right over here next to Lick.
Okay. I don't know where I am, but I remember the last time I was,
Yeah, where are you?
around here. I disappeared. I know. But I remember being around here last time. So give me a second. Would I have 60 or 40?
For movement? For your jump?
Yeah.
40.
40. Okay. So I was probably around here last time. Okay. I did want to run up on Sneak and just like try to punch him in his face with my dagger. However, I don't think I have that ability. I don't think
do.
he's close enough. He's
Oh,
close
so-
enough
Oh, yeah.
for me to punch. He's not, right?
Yeah.
Don't you
He
get?
didn't say-
Don't you have a thing that
Oh.
gives you bonus burst?
Yeah, you can use your cunning action to dash twice.
Okay.
Or to dash
Yeah.
an extra time.
So let me dash
All right, I'm gonna spawn
40
you, dude.
feet. Yeah.
All right,
Can you?
You jump. Yeah, you
I
can use your
was-
cunning action to get in his face. Okay, you're there.
So after that, I would like to just like straight up try to just go in and sock him right in between his eyes. Like, I'm going in hard. Like, I was there, everybody's hitting all their friends, and I'm about to hit my friend, dude. Just fucking sock him right in his eye. I want him down. I want him
Roll
out.
to hit. Roll to hit at advantage.
Okay, let me see.
As he's focused on Lyx and not you.
And plus I have inspiration, right?
You can add the d6 if you need to.
It's dexterity.
No, it should be your gauntlet still.
Yeah,
It's your
ignore me,
gauntlet.
ignore me. It's the dagger gauntlet.
You can do it one more time.
It's about the same.
Okay, now now add 2d6 to that for your sneak attack.
2d6 for sneak attack.
Okay, so that does some damage. How much is that? That is 11. Okay, he looks almost there.
All right, so I smacked him. So as I was way up there, I see all that other hubbub happening. I sneak down real quick, super fast, all sneak-like, and just smack him right in his eyes with that dagger right in my thing. And
Yeah, and he kind of screams out. And he's like, "What the hell?" And is totally shocked and surprised. Alrighty, I think that's all for you. So Isabella's actually can't hear. Her voice stops as she flies through this, and she's unable to help you all as she tries to get out and uses her turn to escape. Shadow Melvin's out for the count. Shadow Willow's out for the count. And we have this guy. Where is he? I thought I had one. Oh no, I guess Nuatari killed him. Never mind. All right, this guy jumps over here to you two, and I need you to make strength saving throws. Both of you, Willow and Melvin. As this being opens its robe up and giant tentacles launch at you all. All right, Willow, you succeed, but you will
Waiting for mine to move.
You're good. You still take 5 damage, actually, Willow, as
Okay,
this dark
well, I can
energy
just-
slaps you. And I took away your health, Willow.
All right, I'll roll on paper.
Good old-fashioned rolling.
Oh my god. 10, but I'm gonna use my d6.
Yeah,
Oh, 11 plus my d6. 14.
you just saved. You take 5 damage.
Still better though.
Yeah, as these giant tentacles just burst out at all of you. Alrighty, Willow. Actually, before you go, Willow, the being in the middle, his mouth opens and says, "In the darkness, we are all one and the same. And in the darkness, there is only one." And he opens his mouth, and as he does that, multiple tentacled beings come out and fly out of the mouth, appearing on the scene all of a sudden, flying out. Alrighty, Willow, you're up next.
I'm sorry to be a downer. I'm like getting
We're almost
really
done.
tired.
Yeah.
so-
We're almost done.
Okay. I was gonna say I can
Finish
make
off
another round of
Actually, all
combat,
right. What we'll do is, how do you all finish off Shadow Sneak? You guys are gonna beat him at this point, even though he has one more turn. So let me do Shadow Sneak's turn, and you guys decide how you finish him. Shadow Sneak does hit you, Sneak, for 10 damage as he retaliates in anger, but then you all get to go and pretty much whoop his ass.
Sneak, do you want to take your shadow out?
You could just describe it.
I would like to take my shadow out. Ultimately, I know I punched him in the face with the dagger earlier, but I think a couple more rounds happen, and then I just like ultimately after like punching him in the face, I'm gonna shoot him also in the face with the crossbow that I got. So I'll punch him and then down, dog.
So you guys, maybe you guys have a little bit of a cool little fight, like a back and forth of slashing, dodging, kind of talking shit at each other. And then you do exactly what you just said to finish him off. As he turns into that dark flame, and they're all now floating in the sky, floating around, and they start to form together and become a large flame, and they become a giant portal that starts to suck you all in like a black hole. Isabella immediately flies in. All of you do strength saving throws. And this is the finale. Sneak, you fail. You go flying in after your thing. Willow, you fall prone as you're holding on to rock. All the cultists fly in and fail. Melvin, with the natural 20, somehow you have this amazing will to hang on. You're hanging on, feet in the air still, but you are doing it, Melvin. Lyx, you fail. You fly straight in. Willow and Melvin, you are barely hanging on as all your friends are getting thrown into the void. And you hear this whispery, echoing laughter.
Yeah, I think seeing that everybody else is already gone, and since me and Melvin were pretty close together, she's just gonna reach an arm out and like grab hands and be like, "You ready?"
And then you hear this laughing, booming from the being in the middle, far out, and it says, "The power of unity, of acceptance, of power itself. You hang on for your dear friend." and it's just laughing, but seemingly impressed by your guys's willpower and strength of coming out of nowhere. You guys let go together? Sorry, I don't know if I understood that.
Yep.
Yep, holding hands.
You let go, flying in last into the dark void created by your flames. And so you guys have actually done it. There's some resolution that we'll go over next session, but you guys you're not dead. And I'll actually give you allusions to what happens, and then we'll end off there. Lyx, you are in this strange altar-like room. It's massive and cylindrical, and you see a tall being over 10 feet tall with long black hair drenched down, and it's just looking at you with its head tilted, no face, just a silhouette of pure darkness. It's the same being from the woods. Melvin, you hear lounge music. You hear this jazzy, beautiful music as you're in this glistening lounge room, and you're Melodia on stage. New Anestes everywhere with drinks at tables cheering you on, ready to see your performance as some large being enters the room, and everyone kind of looks at them. Someone who looks familiar and frightening, and he's followed by a crew. Willow, you're in this dark abyss, similar to Kiri Jolith's place, where it was kind of like this aqueous ground, except it's all dark. It feels kind of watery, and far out in the distance you see a small light. You have to run a lot to get to where it's at, and that's all you see. Willow, Sneak, I'll end on yours, and this will be the end. You're in the woods, Sneak, and you hear chattering ahead of you. Sneak, I'll actually let you act. You hear chattering kind of ahead. I'm letting you act, Colton. Sneak. What do you do?
Fuck.
It sounds like familiar voices coming out. Yeah, you're in this woods that you've never been to before. You would recognize it if you knew it.
Where the fuck am I?
And
Who
then
is
you
this?
you hear, Ma, did you hear that? Stabs, did you hear that? And then you hear, no, I think it's just a deer. Let's keep going. The target's straight ahead. The quarry's ahead. Let's get this done and get back to our boy Sneeko.
How much of the hallucinogens did I take? I do not remember any of this, dude. How did I get here? I'm tripping out a little.
And the rustling continues. It keeps going down the sounds as you notice there's a canyon forming ahead of these woods, and the voices of your parents are echoing from the forest. And we will end there. But yeah, I'll let you all know this now, even though it's gonna happen, and I'll explain why it happens. But you all actually do level up. You all actually do level up to level 5. And I want to be very clear that technically you guys have leveled up in game from one day to the next. There's gonna be a big reason why, but I won't spoil that surprise. But just so you know, you guys are level 5. You guys can change your sheets just for the next session. Do what you need to do, get your stuff. I will leave you with this, actually a final homework that you have to do is, how did another version of you die? How did another version of you die? And they most likely died, I want to know, from the time you all met each other to the Battle of Vogler. So it's likely that they died in the Battle of Vogler, but they could have died elsewhere.
Are we talking about like a parallel universe?
Maybe. But how would you have died? If you would have died, if you would have made a choice that would have led to your death from the start of this campaign to the Battle of Vogler, what happened? So think about that, and maybe have a sentence or something. So have that by next session. So what choice would have been different, would have been the
Heard that,
decider for
Colton?
you? Huh? I'll send it too. So we're ending on that. You guys are all in separate weird places. You guys are not with the homies at all. You guys are somewhere else, and that's where we will end. Thank you all for